There's a reason why you listen to us.
There's only one reason.
And that reason is clear.
We're talking about sports.
It's because we own this.
That makes a ton of sense.
We own this thing called Sports Talk.
It's a communal experience.
And you hear it here.
And here they are.
On Fox Sports Radio.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Just sponsor a post and receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no closing costs, period. The Fed is set to raise rates, and some analysts are saying it could be as many as 11 consecutive rate increases. A rise in the Fed rate can increase the rate and monthly payment on credit card debt and home equity credit lines. If you're a homeowner with significant credit card payments, home equity credit line payments, or if you are thinking about cash out for other things like home improvements, we can help. A no closing cost conventional fixed rate first mortgage can lock all of these things in right now and actually help lower your monthly payments. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or we're local. Call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
We're so glad you set your radio right here. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right.
I'm Chris
all
Foster
along.
at Fox News. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky says the Russian military bombed a theater used as a shelter in the city of Mariupol, and it's impossible to know how many people are killed or hurt with the entrance under rubble. Fox's Jonathan Hunt in Lviv, Ukraine.
It seems increasingly that Russian President Vladimir Putin is willing to turn to the slaughter of civilians as a method of pursuing his goals in this war. Clearly, the Russians thought that they were going to roll in to Ukraine, move through Kyiv pretty quickly, remove the government there, and install their own puppet regime. They haven't done that, so now Putin's rationale seems to be, well, to control Ukraine, I need to destroy it first.
At least one person's reported killed in Kyiv, Ukraine, by debris from a downed missile hitting an apartment building. U.S. intelligence reports more than 7,000 Russian troops have been killed in 3 weeks of fighting. That's more than the number of Americans killed in more than 20 years of war in Iraq and Afghanistan combined. Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin abruptly leaves a charity gala in Washington, D.C. after learning there he tested positive for COVID-19. President Biden was there too, but not in close contact, according to the White House. Their St. Patrick's Day meeting at the White House today is canceled. 6 college golfers killed in a head-on crash in West Texas are identified. 4 young men and 2 women, 18 to 22 years old. Their coach was driving and also died.
All were inside the van carrying University of the Southwest men's and women's golf teams. Investigators say a pickup truck crossed into the van's lane. The 2 vehicles crashed head-on and caught fire. The driver and a passenger inside the truck were also killed. The State Highway Patrol is conducting a full probe into what may have caused the crash.
It's Dion Aglin with Fox 4 Dallas. 4 people are reported killed in yesterday's earthquake in northern Japan, magnitude 7.4. America's listening to Fox News.
Getting it right. All day and all night. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News. Traffic.
Some delays in the downtown Punta Gorda area. Nothing major, though. Also in Port Charlotte, Veterans Boulevard heading southbound towards Kings Highway, just off of 75. And then very further south of that, 41 as you head past 762 northbound, just towards South Punta Gorda Heights. Only delays I'm seeing at this hour, though. Should be a smooth ride throughout the county. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Taylor Wirtz, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some patchy areas of fog this morning, that'll be lifting way to a mix of sun and clouds for today and a warm afternoon for your St. Patrick's Day. 87 for a forecast high. We could see a stray shower by this afternoon focused far inland. Otherwise, we remain quiet for your Thursday evening, Thursday night, Friday morning, looking at lows in the middle 60s waking up with the high near 89 degrees for the afternoon. A few showers focus inland yet again for your Friday afternoon. Saturday mainly dry, and we keep it warm for the start of the weekend with a high near 88 degrees. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Whether you're commuting to the office or driving to the beach, always stay to the right with 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Let's hear from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
People who suffer with back or neck problems, whether that's pain, numbness, or weakness, deal with something that can be frustrating. Pain wears us down. It can affect our relationships with family and friends. It's not fun to be around someone who's always complaining about their backs. Don't resign yourself to having to live with pain. In my office, Johnston Spinal Care, I successfully treat the worst of the worst, those who get injections, nerve-burning procedures, or even surgery. And now they're back, golfing and living life. If there's a treatment that is extremely effective for sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, or neuropathy, wouldn't you want to see if it can help you? Non-surgical spinal decompression is now in Southwest Florida. Safe and painless, more than just a temporary fix, long-lasting relief that can finally heal the condition, regardless of age. Take the time right now to call my Medicare-friendly office for a no-charge telephone consultation about spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Let's roll, America. Get $5,000 over the KBB.com value for your trade-in during Naples Nissan's Let's Roll America sales event. Hey, Southwest Florida, Aaron Walker here. Come roll with us at Naples Nissan and get $5,000 over the KBB.com value for your trade-in, whether it runs or not. Push, pull, or drag it in if you have to. Choose from over 200 new Nissan models in stock, ready to drive home, and all backed by Naples Nissan's exclusive unlimited mile lifetime warranty. Get $5,000 over the KBB.com value for your trade-in and get rolling in a brand new 2022 Nissan today. Don't miss the Let's Roll America sales event only at Naples Nissan on Pine Ridge Road. That's exit 107 off I-75 or naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined. Visit naplesnissan.com for full details.
It's a new year and a great time to upgrade your cabinets. You want Sinclair quality. You want Sinclair craftsmanship. You want Sinclair cabinets. Sinclair Custom Homes now offers their handmade, built in the USA custom cabinets without having to purchase a Sinclair custom home. You can now have the same high-quality furniture finished cabinets in your existing home. Upgrade your kitchen, your bath, your closets, even your garage. For details, visit SinclairCabinets.com. That's SinclairCabinets.com.
Hi, this is President Donald Trump, and I'd like to invite you to join me at the American Freedom Tour in Fort Lauderdale on Saturday, March 19th at the Florida Live Arena. We'll be live and in person along with my son Don, Kimberly Guilfoyle, Dan Bongino, Candace Owens, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and many other incredible patriots. We will be talking about how to defend our jobs, our borders, our liberty, and our God-given rights. I hope you'll join me in Fort Lauderdale on Saturday, March 19th. It's the only time this event will be coming to South Florida. If you want to sign up to get your tickets for the American Freedom Tour, you have to go to AmericanFreedomTour.com and do it right away. I think they're going to be selling very quickly, and I hope to see you there. I look forward to it. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Go to AmericanFreedomTour.com for tickets as low as $9. The American Freedom Tour in Fort Lauderdale on Saturday, March 19th at the FLA Live Arena. Once again, that's AmericanFreedomTour.com.
Chevy Sales, Marty speaking.
Oh, top of the morning to you, Marty.
You again.
Do you feel lucky?
Lucky?
Yeah, it's the Lucky You event at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Right now, Victory Lane's offering no payments for 120 days.
What the?
And new Chevy trucks come with a $1,000 accessory allowance.
No way.
But you don't really need luck with their goal of 100% credit approval.
No such thing as luck, pal.
Well, don't tell that to your customers, because they're going to need all the luck they can get. He hung up. During the Lucky You event, get 2.99 APR for 72 months and no payments for 120 days. New Chevy trucks have a $1,000 accessory allowance, plus an additional $500 off MSRP. Get lucky at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads online, victorylanechevrolet.com. Se habla español. Plus tax, tag, and fees with approved credit. All offers on in-stock vehicles must finance through GM Financial. Offers cannot combine. Ends 3/31/22.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do.
Thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
All right, we awake this morning with an angry Jake the Millennial, and we're going to share everything that we talk about off the air, on the air. Right now, 239-479-5592 is the Brett Air Conditioning Talk and Text line. We stream live, drewsteel.com, the website, Steel has 3 E's. Thank you for watching, subscribing to our channel on Rumble. Coming up this morning, we're going to have a conversation with Mike Lyons, military analyst. With Mike this morning at 7 a.m., I want to get into real detail of both sides of the war in Ukraine. For everything that Mike Lyons is going to tell us about no-fly zones and MiGs and military maneuvers and everything else, I just want to present the other side of the argument, only because there's so many people. I have to be honest. There are people that are getting confused by differing news outlets, talking heads, opinions, generals, former military people. So I thought, you know what? I'll try the other side and speak to him about that so that he can answer from his perspective. I just think it's something that's important in this discussion. So that's coming up at 7:05, I believe. Yeah, 7:05. And 7:35, we're going to talk about the border. Oh, are we going to talk about the border? Tucker Carlson had a rhino on last night right here from the state of Florida talking about the border. And I'm going to make a case that I made to Marco Rubio way back when, and I believe it was 2015, and an argument that I would make today, even with Tucker Carlson having a discussion about amnesty, having a discussion about our border with Representative Congresswoman Salazar from the Miami-Dade area. So we'll get to that coming up in just a bit. All right, what are you talking about, Jake? So Jake's trying to create. Are you trying to create an account, or you already have an account? Okay, you're not on. All right, do you want to go on the air, or do you just want to talk?
Yeah. I should probably talk on this one.
Okay, so you were looking at LinkedIn and you wanted to go and create an account.
No, I have an account.
All right, so you were looking to. So what you wanted to do was
I wanted to change my background picture,
and you wanted
not
to
my
have
picture.
and you wanted to have an American flag up there.
Well, I was just like, I seen a bunch of flags, and I was like, oh, cool, they probably have the American flag, and they don't.
So what did they have?
Goodness.
Do I want to know what kind of flags they have there? That you couldn't find.
I mean, you could probably guess. It ain't hard.
Well, I mean, do you want to read through some of the ones that you had there? I mean,
oh yeah, I'm gonna start off. It starts off with which like a generic, like my home office juggling work. And then it just gets into, like, Stop Asian Hate, Black Lives Matter, Amplify Black Voices, be an ally, and it's all colorful. And then you have the LGBTQ. You have all their flags.
How many are there? A lot.
All right, 4 or 5.
So what you're saying is there are a lot of flags out there, woke presentations, all kinds of different things, but you couldn't find an American flag anyplace. Just to put an American flag up there.
Well, I mean, I can upload my own photo.
But no, I'm not asking about yours. I'm saying, are there other countries' flags? No. All right, so there's no country flags. So, all right, so the assumption is, if I guess you're on LinkedIn, that
it's a woke button, basically.
Okay, you would have your own country's flag, but the ones that are really difficult to find, we'll get those for you. The woke flags of some kind.
I think it's just cooler to have a woke flag flying.
Yeah, the answer to that is no. No, that is not true. All right, we're going to get a little bit into what Zelensky said yesterday. He did ask Congress for a no-fly zone. Are we going to look at a no-fly zone and asking for a no-fly zone and having a no-fly zone that is presented by the United States no-fly zone really is kind of something that would spark a world war, would it not? If it were to be used. And what is NATO prepared to do? You know, this whole thing we were told predicated on the fact that we wouldn't have had a war here. We wouldn't have had a sovereign nation invaded if Volodymyr Zelensky just would have said simply, listen, we're not getting into NATO. We're just not going to do it. And that would have made Putin, I mean, this is the narrative, right? That would have made Putin happy because NATO would be out. But Zelensky wanted to be part of NATO, wanted that protection, like other Eastern countries along the border there. Estonia, Latvia are a part of NATO. And what is NATO prepared to do? I just heard a podcast last night, and I'm going to ask Mike Lyons about this. I just heard a podcast last night talking about what NATO is prepared to do and what they're not prepared to do. Do you realize that if Russia uses chemical or biological weapons, it's found that Russia used chemical or biological weapons in Ukraine, they are prepared to do nothing. You heard me right. So just so we are aware of this, NATO has said, yep, we're out. Sorry, we're just that's not enough provocation to do anything. We do have some horrific things that are happening. Word coming out last night. Russian forces bombed Mariupol and a theater there despite warnings that there are children inside of the theater. They bombed it anyway. As many people are calling Putin a war criminal. Putin not taking this very kindly with some harsh words, as you can imagine. But Zelensky, again, asking for a lot. And listen, he's got to, you got to give it to him. He's still there in the country. He's not going anywhere. Many people view him as a hero, certainly for somebody who's not backing down, and some of the things that he asked yesterday.
Right now, the destiny of our country is being decided. The destiny of our people, whether Ukrainians will be free, whether they will be able to preserve their democracy. Russia has attacked not just us, not just our land, not just our cities. It went on a brutal offensive against our values, basic human values. It threw tanks and planes against our freedom.
And he was talking, even invoking the Japanese bombing of Pearl Harbor, launching the U.S. into World War II, September 11th. When we were attacked by terrorists. A lot discussed yesterday when Congress got together. And by the way, I believe we're scheduled. We have Congressman Byron Donalds, as we usually do on Thursdays at 8:05. I'll be curious to see if he was there for this and his thoughts on all of it. But there's also another side to this discussion. And look, I am not saying anything against what is happening in Ukraine and what Zelensky wants and the talk of weaponizing and getting weapons in there and protecting that nation and helping them to do that, something we should have done up in the lead up to this invasion. It would have maybe have been a different scenario. It's easy to say, and I guess I'll ask Mike Lyons this question too. It's easy to say now, after the fact, when Russia's already in the country, to start saying things like, look, we gotta load them up. We got to get them weapons. We got to help them out. We've got to spend the money. The kind of money that we just found out yesterday was being dropped there. Some added money and weaponry. $800 million. And again, some people are asking me, well, hold on a second. Didn't we just give them $14 billion? Didn't we just sign off in the $1.5 trillion omnibus omnipotent spending bill? Didn't we just add $14 billion? We just added $800 million more in assistance that includes stingers and javelins and aerial systems and grenade launchers and body armor and helmets and all of these things that we could have given them before and then some to maybe stop them from even crossing the border. And now when we are talking about doing this and giving them these munitions, we have Vladimir Putin saying things like, these are active wars. So why didn't we do all of this early on? Is this just poor planning? So a lot of questions that I'm going to ask Mike Lyons that, look, people ask me. You have the discussion about whether or not this is going to be defensively or offensively used. Are we talking about offensive moves? And again, you have one side that is saying We need to arm Ukraine with the MiGs that they need so that they can take to the skies and things can happen quickly, and strafing these supplies that are coming in from Russia, these trucks that are, a 40-mile long convoy that they can strafe these trucks, where many people have asked me this question as well, and I'm just putting it out there. How come there hasn't been one single plane that has been able to strafe these trucks, knowing that before the war started, we were told that Ukraine had their army, they had MiGs, they had planes. Why is it that we haven't seen that or heard about that? I'll ask Mike Lyons. Just a question. I don't know the answer. But when we're told that these weapons could be used offensively, if they're being used offensively, then that is going to be something offensive to Vladimir Putin, and we don't want to stoke that fire and make that the stepping into World War III. And Jen Psaki was asked about that.
You put out a list of all of the military equipment included in that $800 million that's being provided to Ukraine. Among those items, let me read them to you: 100 grenade launchers, 5,000 rifles, 1,000 pistols, 400 machine guns, and 400 shotguns. Are you saying those items are not offensive weapons?
They're weapons that help the Ukrainian people fight against an invasion by a foreign country.
They can be used offensively, can they not?
Again, they're weapons. What I'm talking about is weapons that can be used to fight.
The answer is yes. I mean, although you don't want to say it, that answer to that question is yes. And so, obviously, you're trying to make this distinction between offensive.
Well, what we're talking about. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Well,
let me finish my answer.
No, you aren't. No, I was finishing a point, and then you can respond to mine.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, you're making this distinction between offensive and defensive weapons. Anybody that looks at that list of weapons that I just mentioned, they would say clearly they're offensive. If a Ukrainian military officer or someone who is enlisted has one of these weapons, they can take out a Russian military official of some sort with these weapons. They're offensive in nature. So why not provide more offensive weapons like this to the Ukrainian military?
Do you see what he's trying to say and calling out Jen Psaki? Jen Psaki in the White House is trying to say these are all weapons that are there for the defense of Ukraine, to help them to defend against the invaders. You have the other side that is suggesting that World War III is about to start and will start if they are going to use weapons that are given to them by us offensively. And so what this reporter is trying to say is, hold on a second. How could you give a list of all of these weapons, stingers and javelins and grenade launchers and rifles and pistols, and say, oh, they're just defensive, so don't get upset with us. These are just defensive. These are weapons that we're giving to Ukraine to stop the invasion of Ukraine. That's all this is. So don't look at this as offensively, because they're not going to go on the offensive. They're just going to sit there and sit in a defensive posture, and that's the way it's going to be. And what the reporter is saying, that's ludicrous. You're suggesting that somebody isn't going to make an offensive move at all. They're just going to sit there with these weapons and wait to be attacked, and then they're going to use it. Look, I'm not suggesting that Ukraine should not be helped. I'm not. I am suggesting that these are things that we should have dealt with before, but there's other things going on behind the scenes that are just odd, that are just strange, that have to be answered. And it's been frustrating. Again, so what am I talking about? Well, through all of this, some of the things that aren't being talked about. Andrea Widberg from American Thinker brought up something yesterday that we talked about at the beginning of last week. I think it was last week when we had, no, it was the beginning of this week when we had Lee Smith on. Lee Smith, Tablet Magazine and the Epoch Times wrote the plot against the president. Basically made into a movie that laid out the Russiagate hoax. And she asks the question, if Russia's the enemy, why is it making bank on Biden's beloved Iran deal? And we go back to Iran again. And these connections, and she's starting to see the same thing that Lee Smith laid out, which is we're this close, my fingers are thinly spread apart, to World War III, to going against Vladimir Putin and U.S. and Russia. I mean, things that in 2022, nobody would think that would be coming out of their mouths, except for the fact that Joe Biden's the president of the United States.
True international effort to pressure.
And some people might say it's that reason alone that would spark the interests of people that don't like us and other people who have different interests than we do around the globe that would be attacking other countries. Word has it that we're going to be sending troops to Australia now because there is a thought that, and there is a concern about an attack on Australia by China. Are you kidding? This was something that came out yesterday. Like, what? The biolabs issue. Victoria Nuland said, yeah, there's biolabs there. But everyone's like, no, that's just conspiracy theory. Then the Undersecretary of State admits to this fact. And then people are trying to say, well, it's they're old munitions. And it's really just trying to get rid of what connection do we have and why are they there? And Hunter Biden and speaks no Russian, no Ukrainian, yet he's getting paid $83,000 a month to be on the board of Burisma. Just when anti-corruption prosecutors are looking into it, you know the story. And then Biden saying, I'm not going to give you the money unless you pull the prosecutor. They did it, didn't they? But then the big question, why is it that Russia is... Like, why aren't we doing more against Russia if they are truly our enemy? I'm asking this administration. Because then we have Russia making the Iran deal, and then we also come to find out that not only is Russia a negotiating partner, the negotiating partner in this, to help Iran get a nuclear weapon, but they expect to profit from making Iran more nuclear. So in all of this administration, don't miss this, everybody. The Biden administration is allowing Russia to make a deal with Iran to make sure that we have this JCPOA deal that Trump pulled out and Biden's coming back in that's going to allow for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Biden's allowing Russia to do it, but we hate Russia, but he's allowing them to do this, knowing full well that Russia is going to cash in on $10 billion worth of contracts to build out Iran's most contested nuclear sites, that they're going to be the client of choice when Iran's looking to get weapons. And we're not stopping that from happening. And as a matter of fact, we're doing quite the opposite. We're helping Russia to make this deal to get what they want. Does that make any sense to anybody? I know that, and forgive me, but with the Zelensky and needing wanting a no-fly zone and needing the MiGs, and people say we have to supply them with this, and it is a humanitarian crisis and war crimes and killing of children and all of that is true. There's also something else going on here that is just huge. That the Biden administration is doing things to help Russia at a time when we're supposed to be told that they're an enemy and we're hurting them. But are you really? When you won't even do this to stop this Iranian nuclear deal from happening. It's an outrage. It's just an outrage. All right. Other things going on as well. Hey,
some delays.
This is an important deal here, Jake. I know you're going to like this. There's justice for Jussie. Jussie Smollett. Justice for Jussie. What am I talking about? Oh, he's not in jail. Yeah, the whole Jussie Smollett issue. Did you hear that he's not in jail now? What? Yeah, because justice reigns supreme. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5. Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News. Right.
This
all
Fox
along.
Business Report is presented by the Darda Real Estate Group at dardagroup.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Walmart says it aims to hire 50,000 workers by the end of April. The Wall Street Journal reports the retailer wants more workers for stores, as well as its advertising and health businesses. If your phone service is provided by Pacific Networks, it appears you may have to find a new service. Washington is kicking the Chinese-owned carrier out of the U.S. amid national security concerns. Sharing your Netflix password for free may soon be history. The company's testing ways to make users pay extra for sharing an account outside a household. And stocks soared after the Federal Reserve raised interest rates for the first time since 2018 to fight inflation. The Dow gained 518 points, or 1.5%. The NASDAQ jumped 3.8%. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report. Invested in you.
Are you ready to list your home for sale? What if you could receive a guaranteed offer on your home with no showings, no open houses, and no stress? Contact the Darta Group at dartagroup.com to learn about their guaranteed offer. The Darta Group has 30 years of experience and consistently ranks in the top 3% of real estate agents in Lee County. Find out if your home qualifies for a guaranteed offer and how you may receive an offer in as little as 24 hours and close escrow in as little as 21 days. No home prep, no showings, no open houses. You control when your home is sold and when you move. Learn more about this elite real estate team and the guaranteed offer at dartagroup.com. Don't wait. Schedule an appointment at dartagroup.com. That's dartagroup.com. A Compass Realty broker.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune in to WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. on 92.5.
Hey, good morning. Just wanted to say hi to everybody who is watching on the stream. And if you would do me a favor in the comments section, wherever you are right now, would you do me a favor? And if you could just type here or hi or hello or something, just to let me know that you're listening live right now from wherever you are. Any of the places that we are streaming right now, would you just let me know that you hear us live as you're watching? I know if you've walked away from your device, from your TV, from your computer, would you mind just popping in there and just saying hi to let me know that you're listening right now and you're hearing the sound of my voice? And obviously it's different than talking in the microphone. This is the speaker, right? This is where we talk kind of on the side. Just want to see where you're listening. If it's because I'm just checking out all the comments and reactions and everything from Rumble to all the other sites that we're on. So just want to make sure that we could see, because Jake was asking how many people are listening right now as we speak. All right. And yeah, wherever you are, doesn't make a difference what platform, as I'm trying to pull up some of the other platforms as well. Yeah, we're on a bunch of different places right now. So we're kind of trying to get a little more outreach going on here as far as where, okay, I got to sign in, as far as where we are. So just checking on how that, so wherever you are, please just type in here or hi or listening or whatever you can do in the comments. So wherever you're at. All right, so I see lots of names, lots of people popping up. I appreciate that. Good stuff. So we thank you for that and watching and checking out all the different places that we are at. All right, it's going to be a busy day. I'm so sorry. I am exhausted. It's been a long couple of days. But yeah, so some good stuff coming up today. And listen, I hope everybody understands where we're coming from here in this discussion about Ukraine. There's a lot of confusion going on with the right tactics to take. I'm really disappointed to hear how there's a strengthening of NATO, but NATO really doesn't necessarily want to take or go that far when it comes to the things that they'll do. There's just a lot of things that are going on. But anyway, all right. Just want to see that you all are there. I appreciate it. All right. Great list of individuals here. I appreciate you all watching and subscribing. All right. I got to go back to the radio because we're coming back in a couple of minutes. So thank you. Stick around, everybody. I appreciate it.
Wink News, traffic.
Seeing Some delays in the downtown Punta Gorda area, nothing major though. Also in Port Charlotte, Veterans Boulevard heading southbound towards Kings Highway, just off of 75, and then very further south of that, 41 as you head past 762 northbound just towards South Punta Gorda Heights. Only delays I'm seeing at this hour though. Should be a smooth ride throughout the county. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Taylor Wirtz, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some patchy areas of fog this morning, that'll be lifting way to a mix of sun and clouds for today and a warm afternoon for your St. Patrick's Day. 87 for a forecast high. We could see a stray shower by this afternoon focused far inland. Otherwise, we remain quiet for your Thursday evening, Thursday night, Friday morning, looking at lows in the middle 60s waking up with the high near 89 degrees for the afternoon. A few showers focus inland yet again for your Friday afternoon. Saturday mainly dry, and we keep it warm for the start of the weekend with a high near 88 degrees. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
There's a reason they call tasteless, stale food leftovers. Feed your brain the right way. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. In our industry, companies go out of business all the time, and sometimes we're just not happy with the company you use. If you've been the victim of either one of these, and you have a preventative maintenance program in writing, we'll honor up to 1 year of preventative maintenance from another company at no charge. It's not a gimmick or a trick. We would just love to show you the difference, and when you use a NATE certified mechanic team, you'll see it yourself. It's our way of saying thank you to the community, and hopefully we'll meet some new customers. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. Call me at Kobe Cooling, 239-482-1542. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in this business since 1949. Visit us on the web at www.kobecooling.com.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. If you need new windows or doors for your home, heads up, this message is for you. New South is having a one-day factory sale, this Saturday only in our factory showroom. 40% off high-performance award-winning windows, 40% off energy-efficient windows and patio doors, 40% off our factory direct products installed. Bring in your measure.
All right, so that explains a little bit. So we were having some problems on Rumble, so now I see what happened, and now we're back on Rumble. So if you would do me a favor in Rumble Rants, if you are watching on Rumble, or you're planning on going to Rumble, or you have Rumble on as well as some of the other sites that we're on, do me a favor and please just let me know that you're there in the Rumble Rants. Comments, rants, whatever it is, just if you would do that and send a comment, we appreciate it. All right, that's what was going on. Now I see what's happening. Glad to know that that's working. All right, good. Thanks, guys.
60% less cost than Obamacare. So if you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call me, Tim Cooper, at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712, 239-268-6712. Or go to healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net, and we can custom design a plan managed by you, not the government.
I'll see you later. Goodbye. I call National Exterminators. For $46 they get all rodents and bugs. 23946 no bug. You can rest easy and call the boys at National Exterminators at 23946 no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs, bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts. I'll see you later. Goodbye. I call National Exterminators. For $46 they get all rodents and bugs. 23946 no bug. You can rest easy and call the boys at National Exterminators at 23946 no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs, bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better contracts.
Big Life, a Naples-based worldwide disciple-making ministry, invites you to a special celebration. Tuesday, March 22nd, from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Ritz-Carlton, Naples Beach Resort. Enjoy a keynote address from Task Force Pineapple's retired Lieutenant Colonel and former Green Beret, Scott Mann, recently seen on Fox News. Hear how thousands of Muslims are coming to Jesus in Afghanistan and beyond. This dinner event is free, but seating is limited. Register now at big.life.
Liberals suck. That's why we have Clay and Buck. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. Today, noon to 3 on 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along. This is Daybreak with Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
The Senate passed a bill that would make daylight saving time permanent across the U.S. Finally, a rare victory for your oven clock.
That's actually funny if you think about it, because my clock is still not right. I was looking at my watch last night, and I thought I was at an event, and I thought I had more time than I did. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, I got an hour. I'm good. Everything's fine. And I forgot that I didn't change my watch.
Yeah, those are just for show. For us millennials.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, too, is if I was more like a millennial, and
most of us can't even read those things.
And if I got into the 21st century, I would have a watch that would have changed the time on its own. But instead, I got one of these old-fashioned doodaddies. Is that what you're suggesting? That these...
The mechanical ones with the gears?
Yeah, like the good ones. The mechanical ones with the gears. Yeah, so sorry. But I'll tell you what. When I hear this discussion real quick about watches and how they work and not being able to tell the time, and you'd be surprised how many kids can't tell the time on a regular clock because they're so used to digital. It's the numbers. It's like, why does my kid need to learn how to spell when they have Grammarly and they can type it into Google and they can find out? There's no reason to learn how to spell. Why are we wasting our time?
Fun fact, I wrote my girlfriend a letter, the cute little love letter, but I wrote it in cursive. I didn't know that she was never taught cursive and couldn't read it, so I had to read it to her.
Are you serious?
Swear.
Telling you. Now, you might be saying, what's the big deal? Nobody is reading cursive anymore. Nobody writes it. Nobody reads it, right?
She could not read it.
Yeah. Now, some people might say, yeah, well, guess what? Our founding documents are in cursive. And there's a lot of other documents from our past that are in cursive that we really would like to keep intact and learn how to read. And it's going to be really sucky if we have a society that is growing up that can't read cursive, and they look and say, "Oh, look at the hieroglyphics on this piece of paper. What's it called? I can't read that. What does that say? What? I don't know. It looks like a C, but I can't really tell. Oh, well, this document looks very nice. Looks really old. Okay, what else you got? Hey, you got any really cool flags on your social media account? That's yeah. So if somebody is saying, oh, cursive, I'm just throwing that out there. By the way, how about this? A little fun news for you from yesterday. Here you go, Jake. You ready?
Convicted hate crime hoaxer Jussie Smollett was just sentenced to jail, and now he's been released from jail, or is about to be. He was just a few days into his 150-day sentence, but this evening an appeals court ruled that Jussie Smollett can go home while he works to get his conviction overturned.
How about that, everybody? So the Jussie Smollett case continues. What did I say? From the moment that Jussie was in the courtroom and he was claiming that he was not suicidal and he was innocent and holding his fist up as he was being escorted out of the courtroom and everything else, that there were going to be people in Hollywood, which, by the way, there are, that are saying, justice for Jussie, this was wrong, he's an innocent man, convicted only because of his skin color. He said the same thing as well. TMZ had that story. And Hollywood is going to be more than happy to welcome him back. And there you go. Sentenced to 150 days in jail, 30 months on probation. But, hey, listen, we know that you were convicted because you lied in a hoax attacked by two men in Chicago at 2 a.m. Who claim that he claimed made a racist and homophobic slur, rope around his neck, unknown substance on him, yelled it was MAGA country, and then you come to find out it was all a lie, and we have all the evidence, and he's busted for this, but nothing to see here because he's innocent. And it's going to take more than 150 days for the appeal on this to go through, so we can't have him in jail, can we? I mean, he was in solitary confinement. Who's gonna... What's... Okay. Oh, and by the way, The good news, something that you're going to feel really good about, is those that were convicted on January 6th don't get the same luxury. They're still stuck in a jail cell. So that's good to know. January 6th, you're still in a jail cell. Hundreds of people still there. And we're not going to make any exception for them. But Jussie Smollett, good to know that he's better than the rest. And so Jussie walks. I wonder if... well, never mind. There it is. 239-479-5592. Joe Biden goes 110 days with an approval index under 24. Polling is worse than Obama and Trump. He is negative 24, far surpassing both of those presidents, according to Rasmussen. The approval index, numbers that we have never seen before. When you're talking about the approval of a president, you're getting a lot of... is what you're getting. So Joe Biden's not doing very well. He is certainly continuing to provide us tons of audio that we can listen to and try to figure out and make the choice as to whether or not we believe that he is competent as president of the United States, like this little bit of Morning Cup of Joe.
Sit back with your Morning Cup of Joe.
Not a joke. So we established a new civil rights cause of action for those whose intimate images were shared on the public screen. How many times have you heard, I'll bet everybody knows somebody somewhere along the line, that in an intimate relationship, what happened was the guy takes a revealing picture of his naked friend or whatever in a compromising position, and then literally, in a sense, blackmails or mortifies that person.
What? So, Joe Biden yesterday decided that he wanted to comment about how everybody knows somebody who has a revealing picture used as blackmail or in other non-consensual ways. I bet everybody knows somebody somewhere along the line in an intimate relationship. What happened was a guy takes a revealing picture of his naked friend or whatever in a compromising position and literally sends blackmail. He said, at a signing ceremony for the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act. He was talking about a part of the bill that establishes a federal civil cause of action for those whose intimate images are disclosed without their consent. And it allows, quote, a victim to recover damages and legal fees, creates a new national resource center on cybercrimes against individuals, and supports state, tribal, and local governments' efforts to prevent and prosecute cybercrimes and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, yeah, because everybody knows somebody who takes a picture of the guy, and it's a revealing picture of his naked buddy or whatever. And it's in a compromising position, and then they send blackmail out. It happens, okay. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know, Hunter Biden comes to mind. I'm not really sure. No. That's not funny, and it's not nice. But hey, listen, if you got access to a laptop. By the way, are we going to hear any more about that? Hunter Biden, who maybe Hunter Biden could be the negotiator with Ukraine and Russia. Zelensky, apparently, they're still open. There's still a possibility that... And Putin, Russia's saying, listen, we'll talk to Zelensky. We'll talk peace. Why don't they just send Hunter in? What's Hunter been doing? I mean, he's got a lot of knowledge about things that happen in Ukraine. Mostly on the corruption side, but that's beside the point. 239-479-5592. Hey, at 7:35, we're going to have a conversation with Mark Morgan. And he's a fellow at the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org, and we're going to talk about some of the activity along our southern border. And the concern is that even though, and again, I've said this a million times, that even though it's not in the headlines, it's still a concern, everybody, because you're not going to believe some of the numbers and some of the things that have been happening while we've been so focused on another country's border. It is fascinating to some people, including Tucker Carlson. And I'm so glad that he brought this up last night when he had, Congresswoman Salazar from the state of Florida on the program, somebody who is clearly a rhino, has had some questionable votes in Congress. And I'm so glad that he was bringing up the fact that, are we allowed to talk about how there are people, and it's okay, it's just the way it is, how there are people who really do want to make sure that the border of Ukraine is now going to be sovereign and secure, and pushing back from those that have invaded a country. And some might call it the nationalism there of Ukraine, the safety and security of the Ukrainian people, which everything that is going on right now is horrific, there is no doubt. But how about our border? And would somebody like U.S. Representative Maria Elvira Salazar be willing to send troops through our border to secure it? What do you think she said about that? Tucker had quite the exchange, and I would encourage everybody to watch the show from yesterday, Tucker Carlson and Representative Salazar, on a lot of different issues. Of course, the no-fly zone was one, because she was somebody who was asked by a reporter recently about the no-fly zone, and she believed that there should be one over Ukraine, and then asked what it was. She didn't know. But what an exchange about immigration. And we're going to talk about this more at 7:35 with Mark Morgan, but I need you to hear a little bit of this before we go to break. Check some of this out.
Explain to you about open borders, because you said that I was in favor of open borders, and I talked to your production.
Well, you just called last month for the amnesty for tens of millions of people who came into this country illegally. But you did, because I read the legislation today.
No, I did not.
Actually, about 20 minutes ago I read it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you did. And I will invite you to read it again, because just give me 30 seconds, and I promise I'll give it to you in sound bites. The Dignity Act, which I presented last month, is an immigration reform law, probably the first one that the GOP has presented in a long time. Right. It has one of the strongest border security measures in the history of the United States Congress.
Right, got it. But it also provides amnesty for tens of millions of people.
Amnesty is what we have now, Tucker. Amnesty is when you have more than 13 million illegals, listen to me, without paying for schools, for roads, or for hospitals. I am giving them dignity so they can start paying.
Now we're getting pretty deep into the talking points here. What you're doing is people who came here.
Wow. So the Dignity Act saying we're going to secure the border, we're going to make it the most secure it's ever been. But when it comes to 13 million people that are here illegally, we're going to do something to, as she puts it, give them dignity. Great talking points. Dignity. In other words, amnesty. And that's the problem that Tucker has, and he's asking this question.
People who came over our border without permission are not being punished. They are instead being rewarded. And so you
they're not. Let me answer to that.
A very different standard to Ukraine. I'm wondering if Russians fleeing Putin, do you believe should be allowed to start new and better lives in Ukraine? And I bet you'd say no, because you believe in Ukrainian nationalism, but not American.
I want to be rigorous. I'm talking about those people who have lived here for more than 5 years, that have not committed a crime, that have American children, and who are contributing to our economy. I want to give them something called dignity.
All right, I'm going to stop for a second. I said this to Marco Rubio, and if you've listened to this program for a while, you probably noticed that he hasn't been on this program. And I know that there are people that work for the senator, and I would love to have him on the program. So if you're listening, and I know you are, hey, could we have Senator Rubio on? I have a lot of questions, but this one in particular is important to me, because here is where I think there is this huge, humongous, ginormous disconnect. It is one thing to say that we are going to secure the border. We're going to do it in a way that has never been imagined before. At the same time, we're going to have to give dignity to these people who, for the past 5 years, mind you, think about how many people have crossed the border in the past 5 years. Think about how many people have crossed the border in the past year and a half, and we're going to have the numbers for you coming up. That we should be able to give them the dignity of citizenship and amnesty. The problem is very simple. We don't have honest brokers in government. You know and I know that the minute something like that gets signed, the amnesty will be done. Boom. The security lesson is a little tricky. Yeah, we don't really have the money to spend on a wall. And the image is really bad. And putting troops or anything like that, that's horrific looking. Can you imagine putting troops in? And when they come across the border and they've got kids and, we've got to treat it a certain way. And so they should be released. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the same thing I said to Marco Rubio 7 years ago. It's the same thing I would repeat to Representative Salazar and others, and it's this. It all sounds great. But we don't have honest brokers who will do both. They'll only do one, and you know which one it is. Secure the border first. Everything comes after that. Simple. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Need some inspiration? Don't look left. Look right. Here. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, Managing Partner and CEO of Key City Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
Chevy Sales, Marty speaking.
Oh, top of the morning to you, Marty.
You again.
Do you feel lucky?
Lucky?
Yeah, it's the Lucky You event at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Right now, Victory Lane's offering no payments for 120 days.
What the?
And new Chevy trucks come with a $1,000 accessory allowance.
No way.
But you don't really need luck with their goal of 100% credit approval.
No such thing as luck, pal.
Well, don't tell that to your customers, because they're going to need all the luck they can get. He hung up. During the Lucky You event, get 2.99 APR for 72 months and no payments for 120 days. New Chevy trucks have a $1,000 accessory allowance, plus an additional $500 off MSRP. Get lucky at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads online, victorylanechevrolet.com. Se habla español. Plus tax, tag, and fees with approved credit. All offers on in-stock vehicles must finance through GM Financial. Offers cannot combine. Ends 3/31/22.
If cold winter calls have turned into warm spring leads, you need Indeed. It's the all-in-one platform to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Ceiling fans are a great way for you and your family to keep cool, but sometimes they just don't work right. Well, don't get overheated. Call the pros. Trust the Mr. Sparky team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. Call now for $77 off any repair.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it. Guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Your new home is calling. Call
calling you to live the good life at a good price. River Hall in Hampton Lakes offers the most livable master planned neighborhood in the Gulf Coast with single-family homes from the mid-200s to the 800s. It's resort-style living with abundant recreation surrounding a Davis Love III Championship golf course, all just 20 minutes east of Fort Myers. See new model homes at livelargeforless.com. That's livelarge4less.com.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples. Visit the Diamond District this weekend, March 18th, 19th, and 20th for the biggest diamond sale of the year. Tacori, America's top bridal designer, will join the Diamond District. And with your Tacori purchase of $2,500 or more, you'll receive a free 6 to 7 millimeter pearl necklace and matching bracelet.
You'd think an Army veteran with a military career, including multiple combat deployments throughout the Middle East, would be a great American. And you'd be right. But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you and your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com.
It's all right here at 92.5 Fox News. We've been right all along. This is 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News. Right all along. On the radio, on your smart speaker, and online at rightallalong.net.
Putin's a war criminal. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News, President Biden's opinion of Russia's president.
I think he is a war criminal.
As the Russian military continues its assault on Ukraine and its civilians. The latest live from Fox's Simon Owen.
Chris, Ukraine says Russia has fired more airstrikes on Mariupol this morning, hours after a theatre in that city sheltering hundreds of people was bombed. Ukraine says it was a Russian strike. Russia is denying responsibility. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has just addressed the Germany's parliament, saying Russia is destroying everything in Ukraine. The German parliament said the speech began late because of an attack in Zelensky's immediate vicinity. Chris?
Simon, Facebook and YouTube say they've removed a deep fake video of Ukraine's President Zelensky appearing to surrender to Russia and reported stolen from a building in New York City. About 400 bulletproof vests donated for use by medical workers and humanitarian aid volunteers in Ukraine. They were collected from law enforcement agencies around the country. The actor convicted of lying about being beaten in a hate crime attack in Chicago, Jussie Smollett, is now free pending appeal after spending 6 days in jail.
The judge is releasing him on a $150,000 bond, which he will not pay as long as he appears in court when summoned. His release comes after his lawyers appealed his December convictions, arguing he'd serve his entire sentence before the completion of the process. Last week, the actor was sentenced to 150 days in jail and a $25,000 fine, along with an additional restitution payout to the city of Chicago for just over $120,000. His lawyers also claiming his sentence was a threat to his life.
Fox's Brooks Singman. Gas prices are going down a little again, $4.29 a gallon on average nationwide, according to AAA. It was about a penny more yesterday and $4.32 a week ago. It was $2.88 a year ago, though. Stocks are higher in Asia, lower in Europe. America's listening to Fox News.
This Fox News update is presented by Freedom Dental of Fort Myers. Online at freedomdentalftmyers.com.
Wink News. Traffic.
If
if you're out on the roads in Cape Coral watching a crash right now on Southeast 26th Street, this is right near the intersection of Veterans Parkway and Country Club Boulevard. Seems to be causing some east and westbound delays on Veterans right now. Also watching some slowdowns heading northbound on Chiquita Boulevard South and Nicholas Parkway southbound as you cross over Pine Island Road. Also near Baker High School, Oasis Boulevard headed northbound towards Gleason Parkway. Seeing some slowdowns there probably due to that school traffic. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Taylor Wirtz, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some patchy areas of fog this morning, that'll be lifting way to a mix of sun and clouds for today and a warm afternoon for your St. Patrick's Day. 87 for a forecast high. We could see a stray shower by this afternoon focused far inland. Otherwise, we remain quiet for your Thursday evening, Thursday night, Friday morning, looking at lows in the middle 60s waking up with the high near 89 degrees for the afternoon. A few showers focus inland yet again for your Friday afternoon. Saturday mainly dry, and we keep it warm for the start of the weekend with a high near 88 degrees. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Leftists make you fret? Check out rightallalong.net, the new web home for 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. If you need new windows or doors for your home, heads up, this message is for you. New South is having a one-day factory sale this Saturday only in our factory showroom. 40% off high-performance award-winning windows, 40% off energy-efficient windows and patio doors, 40% off our factory direct products installed. Bring in your measurements for on-the-spot pricing or call today. One day only, this Saturday from 9 till 4. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, and we guarantee them for life. Please visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
Hey, what's up, South Florida? Jimmy the Beef Guy here. For almost 20 years now, I've been in the beef for bread business. So trust me, I know beef. Besides our Italian beef and sausage that you all been raving about lately, you really need to try one of my favorite, the breaded steak sandwich. It's breaded steak with red gravy, mozzarella cheese, and you can top it off with some hot giardiniera. Ah, marron. And our soon-to-be famous Italian stallions filled with our beef, mozzarella cheese, giardiniera, wrapped in a crispy dough and deep fried until golden brown. Got family in town or having a March Madness party? You know I got you covered with the catering special. 5 pounds of beef. It comes with the beef, the gravy, the French rolls, the sweet peppers, the hot peppers, the aluminum tray. So do yourself a favor. Stop in and see Quentin and I. We're at the southeast corner of US 41 and Bonita Beach Road. Jimmy the Beef Guy is your Italian beef headquarters. And hey guys, when you're at the register looking at me, don't look all nervous and say gardenia. It's pronounced giardiniera.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no closing costs, period. The Fed is set to raise rates, and some analysts are saying it could be as many as 11 consecutive rate increases. A rise in the Fed rate can increase the rate and monthly payment on credit card debt and home equity credit lines. If you're a homeowner with significant credit card payments, home equity credit line payments, or if you are thinking about cash out for other things like home improvements, we can help. A no closing cost, conventional fixed rate first mortgage can lock all of these things in right now and actually help lower your monthly payments. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or we're local. Call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, we've got my friend Dave Meister on the phone, of course, with the Floor Meisters, the family-owned Floor Meisters in Naples. And Dave, listen, I know you got a lot of things going on. You're selling a lot of cord tech. That's great, but you got this 8,000 square foot showroom with a selection of carpet that is absolutely unbelievable as well. And the prices right now are pretty amazing. So I hear you got this whole thing going on with Dreamweaver carpet starting at, wait a minute, let me just get this right, at just $1.99 a square foot?
Yes, installed carpet pad and labor, $1.99.
And there's the phones ringing already. Look at that. They're getting excited.
Oh, yeah.
Dave, tell me more about what we've got here.
So we've got a big selection, and this is quite a carpet.
Listen, if you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, you really owe it to yourself to visit their store, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. Whether it's tile, laminate, hardwood, or, of course, carpet, they've got it all. So give them a call today, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
In business, it's never just another day. Every day is the day. There's the day you open your 500th location or expand to a new city. The day you deliver a make-or-break pitch from 1,000 miles away. Or the day that you have to start it all over again. That's the thing. You never know what the day might bring. But with Comcast Business, you'll have the powerful solutions you need to handle anything that comes your way. Like the power of the network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. The freedom to control your network from anywhere. And advanced cybersecurity to help protect every device on it. All backed by a team of can-do collaborators ready to roll up their sleeves and make things happen 24/7. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Call for details.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do. And
thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic.
I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
All right, it's always great to have military analyst Mike Lyons on with us, trying to make sense of a couple of different things. First of all, Mike, how are you this morning?
Hey, Drew, very good. Thanks for having me back.
Listen, I'm going to do something today that we don't usually do, if you don't mind, and I might even like to go a little long because what I'd like to do is, for a lot of what has been discussed, I'm getting a lot of pushback from people that text and maybe call and are a little confused about some positions that are out there. Mm-hmm. And trying to make sense of it all. And I don't, I know you have this perspective that's so important and you're awesome and we love having you on, but there are people that will listen and say, well, I don't understand. Well, then why? And so I thought, you know what, today maybe we can answer some of those questions, like with no-fly zones and military equipment and all of this. So first of all, let me ask you this. Zelensky yesterday, convincing, clearly, his message to Congress, right?
Yeah, I'd say, based on what his needs are, he's, countries act in their own best interest, and clearly it's his best interest is to make what's a regional conflict right now into more of an international one, and he surely could use the help from the kind of military equipment that the United States has. But again, it would bring us in direct conflict with Russia, a nuclear power, and that's just not something that we're ready to do right now. And given how badly the Russian military is even performing, we just don't want to escalate in a situation where, as hard as it's to admit, they're holding their own right now. The fact that they're keeping a non-peer country to a stalemate on the ground is nothing short of a miracle, and they're going to continue to do that. I just think based on the amount of equipment we've already given them.
Yeah. So then a lot of people ask me, and maybe we can bring this up, because he was talking about the MiGs, needing the MiGs, Stefanik and other representatives are like, let's give it to them. What are we doing? Right. Even the new $800 million assistance package and what's being given. So two things with that. First of all, people say things to me like, well, hold on a second, Mike. From the beginning, we were told, even before the invasion happened, that Ukraine has a military of their own, and this is how many planes they have, and how many tanks, and how many people on the ground. So why are they not flying their own planes? Why didn't they have at least one plane that would be able to strafe those 40 miles of trucks coming in for resupply? Why not even one? Where are their planes?
Okay, so the situation right now is they have about 56 planes still on the ground. The problem, though, is they're not in an airport or at an air base because they've had to be dispersed because the Russians know where that place is. And one of the things you do in combat is you go after planes, especially when they're on the ground where they're not flying. So what they've done is they've taken their planes and they've dispersed them all over the country. When they do that, it makes logistics for them more difficult because they have to be fueled, they have to be rearmed, they have to have pilots there. And so it's a much more challenging situation. They're only flying anywhere from 10 to 12 sorties a day. That's code for missions. And so they get up and they only fly maybe 20 to 30 minutes. They're doing very specific things. And that's because the airspace over Ukraine is very contested. There are anti-aircraft missile defense systems that are up there, paint these planes, try to shoot them out of the sky. You have surface-to-air missiles that soldiers carry to try to shoot them out of the sky. So the airspace is a dangerous place to travel. It's not only dangerous for the Ukrainians, but it's also dangerous for the Russians because Ukraine does have some air defense platforms as well. So there's not a lot of planes actually flying. Now, giving them another 29 MiGs is like giving them a space shuttle. What are they going to do with them? They have to figure out a place to hide them. They have to figure out a place to rearm and refuel them. That's why the Pentagon said we're not going to do this, because it just doesn't make sense logistically. They'd have to cross a NATO border. They have to now find a place to land inside Ukraine. And right now, all those airfields are fairly contested. So it won't help them. It won't create any more of an air defense platform. And it's not like they're going to go on fly and do more missions.
Right. So yesterday, a reporter kind of called out Jen Psaki and said, listen, we know that, I guess, the White House and their position is to arm the Ukrainians to do defensively, to have all of these weapons defensively. The word defensively keeps coming up because if they were to be used or thought of as offensive weapons, then we're in a completely different place, I guess, with Putin and his attitude and offensively against Russia. Okay, we've got that. So he made the case, well, in the $800 million assistance package, you've got grenade launchers and rifles and pistols and machine guns and shotguns. How do you say to Russia, yeah, they're only defensive? Because clearly somebody could take them and use them offensively. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, for sure. They're offensive weapons, but the issue is the Ukraine military is just not going on the offense. But in fact, they are. At night, they've got to take out those artillery batteries and that are firing on them. They're attacking the convoys. So they pick and choose when they go on the offensive. But if from a defensive perspective, sure, you stockpile them inside the cities. You try to keep them in certain areas where you know that once the attack comes on the ground that you could use them. But for sure, every weapon that you get, it can easily be turned around and used offensively. Now, Stingers, those are those air defense surface-to-air missiles that fire from one individual to take out a plane. Those are somewhat offensive because if a plane comes by the sky and you fire and you forget, and that plane gets knocked out of the sky because of that. They still don't have anything against some of the cruise missiles. They still don't have some of the higher order things. Most of the things we've given them are for individuals. They're not strategic. They're not going to really change the battlefield other than give the Ukraine soldier more of a chance to fight.
Okay. So another thing, military analyst Mike Lyons joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. He's the best. And so here we are covering everything and trying to see the other positions. And oh, by the way, on the other side of the globe, we've got some issues that we're going to get to because I'm really disturbed about what I just heard about Australia and U.S. troops. Hold on a second. We'll get to that in just a second. So now we're hearing that Russia's drones are flying over NATO territory. I mean, is this true? And by the way, Mike, I heard something else. I heard, and I was listening to a podcast yesterday where I heard someone discussing that, and obviously NATO has been a part of this discussion since day one. Obviously, the talk of Zelensky and being part of NATO, and that being a reason why, and Russia going in because they didn't want them to be. Okay. But I'm also hearing that NATO, if they find out that chemical or biological weapons are being used by Russia in Ukraine, that NATO is not willing to make that like a red line. Like NATO doesn't want to have any red lines. But also, so go ahead.
No, there is no red line. The only red line is the Ukraine border. So whether that's violated from the Russian side over into a NATO country, that's really the red line. Unfortunately, the harsh truth is Russia could do anything inside of Ukraine right now, chemical, biological, even possibly nuclear, tactical nuke. And while we'll get mad about it and we'll go to the UN, we'll do all those things about it, at the end of the day, it's still not going to bring U.S. troops into that fight.
You didn't hear anything about Russian drones flying into NATO territory or anything like that in the area of Poland. Have you heard anything?
No. Now, airspace gets contested in certain ways, right. and Russia does play this game, cat and mouse game, out in over certain areas where they test our responsiveness to when they fly over. But we haven't really seen that. They're trying to do things not to provoke, actually, NATO from entering this. And so now we talk about drones. I think drones are could be the unsung hero of this on a lot of different ways. That's the thing we should be giving more to Ukraine. These switchblades, these are kind of kamikaze drones. Those are the kind of things that could really, really help them, that are unmanned, so there's not any NATO pilots sitting in any kind of cockpits or anything like that. So I think that you're going to see potentially more movement towards those things, and I think they could really swing the day back for Ukraine.
But haven't you been concerned, because I've heard you on other programs as well, haven't you been concerned about that some of these weapons, maybe even drones that we give, that when you get too close to a border, all of a sudden you start to become, you get into a position where what if somebody decides that, hey, listen, we've got some troops really close to the Russian border that we might want to go after or something, and that little bit could lead to something more severe, that concern.
Yes, and there's no question. So, like, for example, when the Russians attacked that supply chain camp in western Ukraine over the weekend, they sent pilots to do it. They didn't use cruise missiles to do it, and I think that's because they had to make sure they hit that target, and they're not confident that their cruise missiles that they're firing from 400 or 500 miles away could do that. Now, ours could. There's no, we could fire a missile from 500 yards away and put it in the middle of a 55-gallon drum, but theirs can't, and they could be off by 20 miles. Well, 20 miles is the difference between where that target was and where the border is. So they send pilots in a very dangerous mission to do that. So there's no question I'm concerned about that. Now, flip that on the other side. They want Ukraine. Yesterday, Zelensky said he wants SA-300s. Those are theater-level anti-aircraft and air defense missiles. That once you fire one of those at a 10,000-foot type ceiling on a jet or something, if that jet decides to cross back over into the Russian border, that missile's following it over into the Russian border, blowing it up over Russia. So that's the problem that we create on the border. The border is the red line. The border is clearly the place that everything's got to happen in the sandbox, and that's got to happen inside Ukraine.
Yeah. The talk of the president and obviously Congress yesterday condemning Putin as a war criminal and how they responded to that. Just bluster, right? I mean, that doesn't escalate anything more than the war of words that's already out there.
Right. It's not helpful. I think any kind of that rhetoric is not helpful. But the thing about it is every day Vladimir Putin gets further and further inside of Russia. Well, he'll never leave it because anytime he leaves, he's just, the days of him hanging out at Davos and getting saunas are over. He's been now confined to whatever's inside of Russia because any country's such a pariah. Any country's not going to allow him in or anything like that.
And that begs the question, and we've kind of talked about this, and I don't know if you've talked about it in other places that you've had conversations, but how does this, no matter how it ends militarily, I mean, whether or not there is any kind of peace, I mean, a demilitarized Ukraine, a possible compromise, what does that even look like? What does that even mean? How does this end? But at the end of the day, where does Putin go? I mean, he's already set the stage for what will be a world that is not going to be as accepting of him as maybe they were in the past. But there will be people that will accept him. Iran certainly will. China seems like they will. So there are some. I mean, is that what he's banking on? Like, I've got my access or my axis, if you will, and I'm good with that?
Yeah, I think so. China, also India. India has not been necessarily on the side of us, and we've got to fix that relationship. There's 1 billion people there, and that's based on because of what we've done with Pakistan, and we've kind of favored them over India in a lot of ways. And India, again, tipping point, I think, in this century, if they want to become a superpower and great power that they should be. But yeah, that's what he's going to. He's picked basically the other half of the world. Now he's picked the side of the world that there's no fun, right? I mean, China, India, and Iran is not. Again, it's not the same. It's not West. It's not Western democracies. It's not the kind of things that we have here. But that's the bet he's made, and that's what he's going to have to lie in at this point.
Right. All right. Before you go, I have to ask you this. Military analyst Mike Lyons joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. He's the best, so we always appreciate having him on. Okay, so now let me get this. Let me get this straight. I go to the Daily Mail. I see this headline. I'm like, hold up. The United States is going to deploy thousands of troops in the Northern Territory after Australia admitted war with China is possible. When did this pop up?
Yeah, so we do this anyway. Actually, the U.S. Marines do get with the Australians annually or so and hold an exercise there in conjunction with our Navy. These are the kind of times, though, that Australia's right up there with the U.K., frankly, and from my perspective, from a military perspective, it's 1 and 1A with regard to always, wants to be well aligned with the U.S. military and what we're doing. So I think this is just more of an exercise. I think there's now more concern that perhaps China does move on Taiwan. The next great war might take place in the Pacific there. It might take place in the South China Sea and the shipping lanes that exist. China's doing the same thing Russia did. It's built up its military. We saw that the Russian buildup of the military has just not worked out. The Russian material and equipment that they brought to this battlefield is just crap, frankly. I don't know what other word to use. And we're going to find out whether the Chinese do the same, because they're going to become, I think, more belligerent there. So we've got one more thing. We've got to figure out a better deterrence, because obviously the deterrence we had to keep Putin out of Ukraine didn't work. Yeah. So we're going to start with force. We're going to do the same thing in Australia with the Chinese. We're going to say, you want to try something? Give it a shot, see what happens, and we'll take it from there.
And by the way, listen, I could talk to you for hours, but here, Zelensky didn't exactly say, "Hey, NATO, let's talk about some kind of alignment, or let's talk about how great NATO is." No, he basically, in his speech yesterday, and this kind of got glossed over. I haven't heard anybody talk about this. He pretty much said, "Yeah, let's start something new." Like, that's what he said.
U-24, he called it.
Right.
It was kind of like a U2 concert there. I thought, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a time in 50 years maybe Ukraine gets into NATO, if NATO's still around there. That's maybe the small olive branch he was trying to throw Russia to get this thing to stop. So that's where the rhetoric stopped for him from his perspective. And he still wants the arms, he still wants missiles and everything. But by saying that was one of the big asks that Russia had when this whole thing started.
Okay, and you have one more.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No.
All right, one more question, because people ask me this all the time, and I don't know how to answer it. So you had a delegation of 3 that made their way to Ukraine to speak with Zelensky. I forget who it was. Was it Finland? I don't remember who it was.
Yugoslavia, I think. Yeah.
So clearly, telegraphing to the world where he's at. Russia knows where he's at. I mean, to be blunt, and I don't know how else to put this, why is Zelensky still alive? Why is he not captured? Why? It's all telegraphed. Everybody knows. Russia knows. So how is he still talking to people?
Yeah, I think a couple things. I mean, first of all, we get up every day. We check. The first thing we check in the morning is to see if he's still alive, right?
Yeah.
I think that in some ways, I think we might have talked about. I think the Israelis went over there and gave a little bit of a warning to Vladimir Putin that says, I think, if you guys assassinate and kill a head of state that's Jewish, I think that's not going to be a very good look for you. And I think if there's one group that can eventually get to Vladimir Putin, it's the Israeli Mossad. So let's say that is whatever the case may be. The bottom line is it's hard to kill somebody. We couldn't kill Osama bin Laden for 10 years, right? It took like a space, it took like a moonshot to create the system in order to find Osama bin Laden. Well, it's the same thing. Kiev is a huge city, 400 square miles. He's in bunkers someplace. They're underground. They're not in any place where they're going to be necessarily attacked during the day. And the fact that Elon Musk and he's winning the communication war. He's getting all his message out. So you bring all those things together. It just goes to show you Russia just doesn't have that capability to do that. And he's well safe, well preserved, well deep inside of Kyiv, where Russia still can't reach out and touch him.
Yeah. Well, great stuff again, as usual. Mike Lyons, military analyst, joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. He's a great follow on Twitter, by the way, at MAJ, Mike Lyons. I would encourage you to follow him there as well. All right, my friend, I appreciate it. Hope this wasn't too confusing. I mean, I think we cleared up a lot, and I think it's important that we bring all of these questions to light because they're driving me crazy. I got to be honest with people. They're driving me nuts, so I'm going to drive you nuts. So there you go. No
problem.
All right.
Thanks, dude. Thanks so much for having me back.
All right, see you soon. All right. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5. Fox News, right all along.
Joe Biden's plan for America? Recycled leftovers. Time for some right thinking. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Well, hello there. I am the Guitar Hotel. I have over 3,000 of the newest slot machines and nearly 200 table games with real cards and real dealers. Come experience my incredible lineup of restaurants, bars, and of course, Hard Rock Live. Or spend a day soaking up the sun in my 18 acres of poolside paradise. I can't wait to meet you. Visit hardrockholly.com to find out more.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Eating dinner in your underwear?
Hey, put some clothes on.
Taking cold showers every hour? Or pitching a tent in front of your refrigerator to stay cool. These are things you can do to beat the heat in your home. Or get a $49 preseason tune-up with no breakdown guarantee.
I love Cool Today.
Call today, cool today. Visit cooltoday.com.
Hi, I'm Ty Lassiter, CEO and managing partner of Key City Capital. And we have been actively investing in strong cash-flowing real estate right here in South Florida for over 10 years. And if you're like us, you're looking to achieve strong investment returns in your portfolio, but you definitely don't want to take aggressive risks. Well, Key City Capital was founded to achieve this goal, and we have done that since inception. For over 10 years, we have generated safe, secure, consistent double-digit returns for our investors without risking a penny of their principal. And we can do that for you too.
Call Key City Capital today to reserve a spot for our next dinner event. Call 239-330-2080. That's 239-330-2080. Check us out online at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Visit the Diamond District this weekend, March 18th, 19th, and 20th, for the biggest diamond sale of the year. Tacori, America's top bridal designer, will join the Diamond District. And with your Tacori purchase of $2,500 or more, you'll receive a free 6 to 7 millimeter pearl necklace and matching bracelet.
Hi, this is President Donald Trump, and I'd like to invite you to join me at the American Freedom Tour in Fort Lauderdale on Saturday, March 19th at the Florida Live Arena. We'll be live and in person along with my son Don, Kimberly Guilfoyle, Dan Bongino, Candace Owens, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and many other incredible patriots. We will be talking about how to defend our jobs, our borders, our liberty, and our God-given rights. I hope you'll join me in Fort Lauderdale on Saturday, March 19th. It's the only time this event will be coming to South Florida. If you want to sign up to get your tickets for the American Freedom Tour, you have to go to AmericanFreedomTour.com and do it right away. I think they're going to be selling very quickly, and I hope to see you there. I look forward to it. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Go to AmericanFreedomTour.com for tickets as low as $9. The American Freedom Tour in Fort Lauderdale on Saturday, March 19th at the FLA Live Arena. Once again, that's AmericanFreedomTour.com.
It's a new year and a great time to upgrade your cabinets. You want Sinclair quality. You want Sinclair craftsmanship. You want Sinclair cabinets. Sinclair Custom Homes now offers their handmade, built in the USA custom cabinets without having to purchase a Sinclair custom home. You can now have the same high-quality furniture finished cabinets in your existing home. Upgrade your kitchen, your bath, your closets, even your garage. For details, visit SinclairCabinets.com. That's SinclairCabinets.com.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
If you're in the North Fort Myers area, you're going to want to avoid the intersection of North Cleveland Avenue 41 and Pine Island Road. We do have a crash with injuries and some roadblocks. Avoid that area if you can, causing significant backups. Midpoint Bridge also significantly delayed at this hour. Cape Coral Bridge going to be a much easier ride right now. 41 seeing some slowdowns headed southbound towards Daniels Parkway. 75 just some usual delays as you get into the Estero area headed southbound. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Taylor Wirtz. Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some patchy areas of fog this morning, that'll be lifting way to a mix of sun and clouds for today and a warm afternoon for your St. Patrick's Day. 87 for a forecast high. We could see a stray shower by this afternoon focused far inland. Otherwise, we remain quiet for your Thursday evening, Thursday night, Friday morning, looking at lows in the middle 60s waking up with the high near 89 degrees for the afternoon. A few showers focus inland yet again for your Friday afternoon. Saturday mainly dry, and we keep it warm for the start of the weekend with a high near 88 degrees. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Keeping it right here. We're 92.5 Fox News. And we've been right all along.
Yikes! $100? Paying that much is just a pain in the gas. Get to the gas payoff event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Through Monday, buy a new Nissan and we'll pay for your fuel. Not just a tank, not just for a month, but for an entire year. Your gas bill is on us. Plus, trade in your gas guzzler to a fuel-efficient new Nissan or a certified pre-owned Nissan. Sutherland Nissan has tons of models that get over 30 miles per gallon. As the #1 certified pre-owned dealer, you'll find the vehicle you're looking for and pay thousands less. And through Monday only, buy a new Nissan and pay $0 for gas for the next year. Save when you buy, save on the road, and save on gas. Don't miss the gas payoff event through Monday only at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details. At Rock Solid Countertops and More, $9.99 gets it done.
Does that include full installation?
For a limited time only, get a full set of kitchen countertops from $9.99 installed.
And you get a free sink plus Rock Solid's 100% price guarantee?
Rock Solid guarantees to beat any competitor's prices, including installation.
So if I want the best deal in Southwest Florida for countertops,
come see Hugo and his team in Naples. And now in Port Charlotte, 4135 Tamiami Trail, where $9.99 gets it done.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Listen, if you're suffering every day with joint pain, I want you to stop and listen, because you can get real lasting relief right now with natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, they are the nation's leader in regenerative solutions that can restore and repair damaged tissue with no surgery and no drugs. This is the relief you've been hoping for your aching hips, knees, shoulders, lower back. The unique protocols at QC Kinetics were created by a physician with years of study in regenerative restorative medicine. They're treating patients every day in hundreds of clinics nationwide with remarkable success, life-changing results with zero downtime. It's the new, better, smarter, non-surgical, non-invasive way to deal with joint pain. And yes, they're right here, ready to help you now. So call for a free consultation. Make this spring and summer your best ever with no joint pain holding you back. QC Kinetics with 2 locations, one in Fort Myers and one in Naples. You can call 239-893-PAIN. That's 239-893-PAIN.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's Pest Prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
When news breaks.
We're following breaking news.
It's a story you'll see only on Wink.
When you need to know.
The Wink Weather Authority is tracking dangerous storms.
Wink News is there first.
Live in Bonita Springs. Live in Cape Coral.
Fair.
We're pushing for answers. Here's what Wink found out. Could save you time and money.
Everywhere.
Live in Lee County. Live on Marco Island.
Wink News takes you there.
Live in Naples. In Lehigh Acres. Live in South Fort Myers. Wink News.
Now. Wink News. First. Fair. Everywhere.
Looking for a reputable HVAC service provider? 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating of Naples provides a high level of service and value to our clients. To learn more, visit onehourairnaples.com or call 855-1HOUR.
The right place for local talk. Drew now. Trey for the Drive at 5. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
All right, coming up, scheduled to join us at 8:05, Congressman Byron Donalds will be here. We'll talk about a lot of, well, you can imagine what's been happening in D.C. lately. And certainly we'll get to all that on the way. Also, just about 15 minutes from now, Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD, have a little bit of fun this morning, try to lighten things up a little bit, although the news hasn't been too good, especially when you're talking about the border, which for the millionth time, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, and for Jake the Millennial, a record is vinyl. It's actually something that's really a great way to listen to music. There's a needle involved. You put that on the vinyl. That's what a record is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and if it's broken, then it just... That's what that's what it used to do. And actually, it still does if you're a vinyl guy. And so, don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself. Is that better? I don't know how that would be in the digital realm. In other words, because...
Hey, Siri, play this song.
No, but it doesn't skip.
Like what?
Like if Siri were to play music, it wouldn't skip. Forget it. We're moving on. We got other things to talk about. Mark Morgan is the former acting CBP commissioner and visiting fellow at the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org, joining us this morning on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Sorry, kind of a weird segue to you, sir. How are you this morning?
Drew, I'm doing fine, but I got to admit, I had to laugh because I know exactly what you're talking about records and vinyl and the skip, and what that means. I'm just old.
No, you're not. I mean, remember, vinyl made a big comeback. My 13-year-old, I talk about this often, that I mentioned vinyl. He didn't know what it was. I bought a turntable, brought some vinyl records. He loves it, and it's still hard for people to believe that he's a big 13-year-old Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., and Coltrane. Coltrane. I'm talking like he's something else. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
That's great.
Yeah. Speaking of whole other stories, let me just say this, because here's my broken record that I've been talking about. Just because it's not in the headlines doesn't mean it's not still a problem. Just because it's not there when we're talking about things along the border. And that's what I get worried about, is everything else takes the air out of the room, the headlines. And we get it, and certainly where we are today, it's important. But some of the numbers that have come out as these were released, the DHS numbers for February, again, can you talk about this? And this is truly awful.
Yeah, Drew. First of all, you're absolutely right. Look, I think we all get it. We understand the focus and coverage on the atrocities that are happening in Ukraine. Full stop, right? We get it. But gosh darn it, we can, as a country, we're the strongest, most powerful country in the world. We can multitask as we should. So while we can focus what's going on in Ukraine, we should and can focus on what's happening on our own borders. And the catastrophe, the wide open borders are continuing. As you said, the February numbers are still historic high numbers. Look, we thought the first 12 months were bad, over 2.1 million encounters, 400,000 turnbacks, 600,000 gotaways for a combined total of 3 million migrants that try to illegally break in our border. This year is probably going to be worse.
It is hard to believe. And again, when we're seeing some of these astronomical numbers, and like you mentioned, and listen, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can have a conversation about both. It's not diminishing what is happening anywhere across the globe, but the importance of securing our border and that talk that gets zero attention from this administration, when they are more than happy to spend billions of dollars to take care of others' borders and to make sure that they continue to stay, or hopefully one day will become sovereign once again, is appalling to so many, because you could take a small portion of that and head it to the border to continue what was and what was transforming into an environment along our southern border, with a wall that was being built and what we were able to do that was paying dividends, things that we could see, right?
Yeah, Drew, I'm actually taking notes as you're talking. I'm going to actually use some of these in my own talking points. You know what? You actually don't need me this morning. You're very well informed. And look, one of the words I really like is diminishing. Look, we can talk about other things, and it's not. I'll reverse it. It's not diminishing the tragedies that are going on in Ukraine. And I think that the majority of the American people understand that, and they want that. Right now on our southwest border, and again, it's not just about illegal immigration. That's a subset of the vast threats that we face from outside our borders. Let's talk, and we could spend the next 2 hours, but let me just talk about one real quick, the drugs. Look, while you have 2.1 million encounters, Border Patrol resources are pulled off the line, right, to provide the necessary humanitarian assistance that's needed. That leaves large area of the borders wide open, unsecured, and unmonitored. Well, what's happened? Drugs are pouring across our southwest border, and they don't stay there. They make their way to every town, city, and state. I'll give you another quick stat. The leading killer among adults from 18 to 45 is fentanyl. Fentanyl seizures right now are the highest in history of this country, and we know fentanyl is pouring across our southwest border. Just think about what we're not seizing because our borders are wide open. Not to mention the gang members are pouring in, evading apprehension, the criminal aliens that are pouring in, evading apprehension. I could go on and on and on.
Yeah, and I know that so many people, certainly listening to this program, realize this. They see this. They're bothered by it. I am concerned about it, and I'm sure you talk to them. Those that work for Border Patrol, what's the morale like? Yep. It's almost like they don't exist.
Well, that's exactly right, Drew. And that's very important because, look, they get up. There's so many reasons why I call them heroes. First of all, the fact that they're still getting up every single day, putting a badge on their chest and going to the front lines to protect our nation's borders, to me alone in this environment right now, because Drew, they live it. They went from, and look, this isn't political, but this is just a fact. They went from having this vast set of tools, authorities, and resources under the Trump administration to actually do their job to secure and protect our borders and do so effectively and safely. And they went from that, and it's all been removed. They're on the front lines. They see it. They know drugs are pouring in that killed 100,000 people in this country in a 12-month period. They know that gang members, they know that criminal aliens. Look, I'm not saying everyone is bad, Drew, but there are violent criminal aliens making their way and evading apprehension. That's a fact. There's murderers, there's pedophiles, there's rapists. That's a fact. It's happening every single day. And the Border Patrol, they see it every single day. And so, of course, they're frustrated. The morale is the lowest it's ever been. Yeah,
and I hate to hear that. And certainly, like you said, the work that they are doing and putting on that badge and going out there each and every day. And I can only imagine sometimes what they see is discouraging because they feel like they know how much more can be done, but they can only do so much. And the last thing I would ask you is this. Mark Morgan is joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, former acting CBP commissioner and a visiting fellow at the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org, a fantastic website and organization, as you know. Is this. Last night, and I don't know if you had a chance to see this, Tucker Carlson had an exchange with Representative Salazar here in the state of Florida, and the issue of immigration came up. Tucker was making the case that we talked about before about being concerned about our border as much as we are concerned about others' sovereignty and their borders. But she brought up the Dignity Act and this idea that it's going to be something that is going to be an unbelievably strong. I mean, what we're going to do along the border will be stronger than it's ever been before, but also looking at amnesty for 13 million that are here. And we're only talking about the past 5 years, Mark. That's it. Well, do you know how many people have come across the border just in the past year and a half? We'll leave that alone for just a second. But it's this, and I think this is such an important point, and I would like you to emphasize this and talk a little bit about it as well. And it's simple. I don't believe we have honest brokers. It's nice that people want to do something to solve the problem. The problem becomes that if this were to be signed, you have one side that's going to say, okay, amnesty, let's get this done, let's make that happen. But the border wall is cruel, and it was Trump's doing, and there's that. And the families, and they come away. And so what happens is, instead of saying, listen, let's stop the leaky roof first, and then we could talk about replacing the carpet, we have a situation where we're told we're going to do both. But you and I know that we're not going to do both, that one is going to get done immediately. The other one is going to hang out there and is not going to get done because we see how this administration has done zero. So before there's talk of anything else, locking down the border has to be number one, pure and simple, full stop.
Drew, everything you just said, 100% agree. And look, I've been serving this country for 35 years, 6 administrations, both Republican, Democrat, and I'm telling you, you're spot on. Look, I applaud the congressman's efforts, but she's just on the wrong side of this. Look, we can go back to 1986, Ronald Reagan, right? Yep. They tried this. Yep. And it failed. Yep. It failed for the exact
same reason
you just described.
Yeah.
It's the exact same reason, Drew. So look, and this rarely happens. 2009, I really encourage your listeners, Georgetown University speech by Chuck Schumer, where he said something that I actually agreed with him. Rarely happens. He said, before we can talk about what we're going to do with the illegal immigrants that are in our country now, before Americans are actually going to listen to that and be willing to have a discussion, first and foremost, what do we got to do? Wait for it. Secure our borders. Yeah. That's exactly right. That's it. And you know what? I like your leaky roof analogy. That's exactly right. Why replace the carpet if the roof is still leaking?
Yeah. All right, Mark Morgan, I appreciate you so much, former acting CBP commissioner and visiting fellow at the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org. We got to keep an eye and a focus on our border, and we've got to continue to talk about this no matter what the headlines are, because we can do both. All right, my friend, all the best. We'll see you soon, okay?
Thanks.
All right. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Streaming live, truesteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching. There's no doubt that we can do both. Man, it is frustrating to think of all the people along the border, Customs and Border Protection, who every day put the badge on, do the work, and sometimes have to just feel like, what are we doing here? It feels like we get no support from this administration. And they would be right. All right, a couple of things before we do Drew's College. I don't want to go there yet because there's a couple of things I wanted to play. So Jen Psaki yesterday being questioned by reporters. Again, I think an important aspect of what is happening with Russia, Ukraine, the United States is the Iran nuclear deal. That still continues to pop up. Why in the world is the Biden administration so bent on getting this deal done, knowing full well that at the end of it, that Russia is going to be Iran's going to be a client of Russia's? They're going to make billions, tens of billions of dollars off of helping them with nuclear sites and weaponry and more. That all the bluster and the talk of sanctions and this is going to be the toughest thing that Russia's ever seen. But yet they're allowing them to make a Russia deal, an Iranian deal, the Iranian nuclear deal, that is going to enrich them beyond their wildest dreams. And they're allowing it to happen. And Jen Psaki was kind of asked about that. Here, let's see. Let's listen to this.
White House willing to delist the IRGC from the foreign terrorist organization list in order to get a deal with Iran?
Okay, so talking about the IRGC, and this is Iran, who the terrorists that are responsible for the attacks on the U.S. military just the other day, and delisting them. Now listen to this carefully.
Is the White House willing to delist the IRGC from the foreign terrorist organization list in order to get a deal with Iran?
Okay, they're a terrorist organization. In order to get a deal with Iran, even after attacking U.S. military, are you going to delist them just so that you can get this Iranian nuclear deal done?
We're still in the negotiations, so I'm not going to speculate or outline from here what the final details look like.
And these are likely the group responsible for firing missiles at U.S. facilities in Iraq. So as long as Americans aren't killed, are there no consequences for something like that, all in an effort to get a nuclear deal?
Again, you're speculating on something that is not even finalized. The deal.
I can't even do it. Do you see how outrageous this is? It was brought up again. Listen to this.
I would say that Russia does not want Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon. We don't either. While we have a range of strong disagreements with them, we can't speak for their intentions here. Certainly, we believe it's in both of our interests for this to move forward.
Okay. So she's admitting that it's in Russia's interest for Biden and Iran to agree to this new nuclear deal. That is a flat-out lie to say that Russia's not going to want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Because they're the ones that, in the tunes of tens of billions of dollars, will benefit from them having it. And there is this axis that was discussed a few minutes ago with Mike Lyons, that when people say, well, why in the world is Vladimir Putin walking away from the world stage? He's going to be a pariah. Not to everybody. Not to China who's more than willing to do business. Not to Iran, who's looking forward to doing business with them very, very soon, thanks to the Biden administration allowing for this Iranian nuclear deal to happen with the help of Russia. So there are things that this administration is not saying, and certainly things that have to be questioned. It's real tough talk when it comes to sending arms to Ukraine so they can defend themselves, and the sanctions that are going to be so incredibly crippling that Russia won't know what to do with itself. That's what we're going to do. But we're going to allow them to deal with Iran and help us to get this deal done so that Iran could have a nuclear weapon sooner rather than later, and then ultimately be a client of Russia to have them help with their nuclear sites and facilitate them with arms, because Iran's not coming to us. All right. Sorry, I get a little frustrated. So why don't we change pace? What do you say, Jake? We just instead of the broken record, let's put the digital audio on so that it doesn't skip. How about that? That's a weird reference. All right. 239-479-5592. Would you like to call now and play Drew's College of Political Knowledge? For questions on politics, the more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Call right now, and the ninth caller is going to get a $35 gift certificate to the great Alda's Diner, otherwise known as Alda's Restaurant and Bar at the corner of 951 and Vanderbilt Beach Road in Naples. They are fantastic. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're going to love it. So if you'd like that $35 certificate and play Drew's College, come on. Be the ninth caller right now on Daybreak 92.5. Fox News, right all along.
Have you heard them yet? Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, today at noon, right after Glenn Beck. 92.5 Fox News. Right
Pandemic, market
all
drops,
along.
elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit savingtheinvestor.com.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day to do great things. Yes, like finally getting your closet organized. Or fixing your water heater so you can enjoy warm, steamy showers. Oh, yeah. Do something great today by calling Plumbing Today to take care of all your plumbing needs. Right now, get our 93 or free drain clearing and get the best from today.
Call today, Plumbing Today, plumbingtoday.biz.
Visit plumbingtoday.biz to book an appointment.
Well, hello there. I am the Guitar Hotel. I have over 3,000 of the newest slot machines and nearly 200 table games with real cards and real dealers. Come experience my incredible lineup of restaurants, bars, and of course, Hard Rock Live. Or spend a day soaking up the sun in my 18 acres of poolside paradise. I can't wait to meet you. Visit hardrockholly.com to find out more.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Rockstar Harley will pay your sales tax promotion on any pre-owned Harley this week only.
You can imagine the look on my face right now. Rockstar Harley doesn't intend on paying or avoiding your sales tax.
That's a big fat duh.
Sales tax is the amount of your discount on any pre-owned Harley. Rockstar Harley is Florida's #1 volume Harley dealer. You don't need perfect credit or a cash down payment. 100% of all credit applications considered, and every pre-owned Harley discounted by your sales tax at Rockstar Harley now through Sunday.
Being involved in a legal dispute can leave you feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Understanding the law and the rules of evidence can mean the difference between winning or losing your case. If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
92.5 Fox News.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
It's Drew's
All right, let's go to George. George is in St. James. Hey, George.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
To you. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Gosh, it's St. Patrick's Day. I completely...
Amazing, huh?
Yeah, I forgot. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question starts right now. George, who was the Vice President of the United States in the year 1997? 1997. Oh.
Joe Biden.
No, it's actually Al Gore. Remember Al Gore?
Al Gore. Oh.
Yeah, that guy. All right, well, that's okay. Well, let's see if you get a associate's degree on this question. How many years was FDR president of the United States? Was it 9, 11, or 12 years? How many years, FDR?
Well, 12 years.
That is correct, sir. All right, so you got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. In 1974, this president, in the wake of Watergate, announced his resignation. Which president was that?
Richard Nixon.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. Who makes federal laws? Who makes federal laws?
The Senate.
Is that your final answer?
And the House.
And the House. Oh, see, you added that. Okay, yes, that's correct. The Senate and the House. Congress does. Yeah, okay. All right, there you go. So you fixed it. Hey, look, you came back strong. You started a little weak, and then next thing you know it, you got a master's degree. Plus, you got a $35 certificate to Alda's Diner at the corner of 951 and Vanderbilt Beach Road in Naples. So congratulations to you and Aaron Go Broke. Or how does it go? Aaron... Well, today, I mean, usually it's Aaron Go Broke or something like that. Now it's Aaron Goes Broke because of Joe Biden. That was really not called for. In case he's got nothing to say after that. Stay on the line. Don't go anywhere, George. Right? Isn't that the saying? St. Patrick's Day. It's Aaron Go... You have no idea. Jake, I'm looking at Jake. You have no idea what I'm talking about right now. None.
Nope.
Not a clue. Google it.
92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. If you need new windows or doors for your home, heads up. This message is for you. New South is having a one-day factory sale. This Saturday only in our factory showroom. 40% off high-performance award-winning windows. 40% off energy-efficient windows and patio doors. 40% off our factory direct products installed. Bring in your measurements for on-the-spot pricing or call today. One day only, this Saturday from 9 till 4. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, and we guarantee them for life. Please visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
As a small business owner, your bottom line is always top of mind. So start saving by switching to Comcast Business Mobile. It's a mobile service designed for small business that can save you money with unlimited data for just $24 per line per month for 10 lines. Perfect for any small business looking to grow. Or you can pay by the gig. And with access to millions of Wi-Fi hotspots, you'll pay only for the data you need, with no line fees, activation costs, or term contracts. You can save up to $500 a year on your wireless bill, all on the most reliable 5G network. And it's only available to Comcast Business Internet customers. So boost your business's bottom line with a more reliable, more affordable mobile service by switching to Comcast Business Mobile today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability assessment wins in 2H 2021. Wi-Fi networks not tested. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Attention Medicare recipients. My name is Todd Van Owen. I live, work, play, and volunteer here in our community. New to Medicare, the area, have questions about Medicare Advantage plans, supplements, prescription drug coverage? Need a primary care doctor or specialist? Call me, Todd, 896-3100. Unlike football and TV personalities claiming to know Medicare, I've got over 20 years of local experience educating and enrolling folks in Medicare plans. Call me, Todd, at 896-3100. That's 896-3100.
Grandpa Joe doesn't want voter ID, but Uncle Sam says we have to do a station ID. 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News. Right, all along.
This news update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Wink News, traffic.
If you're in Fort Myers, headed southbound on Cleveland Avenue 41 towards Pine Island Road, the crash at that intersection seen clear, so shouldn't have too many problems seeing traffic running back up to speed. Alligator Alley, I am seeing some slowdown, speeds around 14 miles per hour, just past Camluck Road and Robb Road, towards the Gulf Coast near mile marker 96. A lot of fog in that area, so drive cautiously. Visibility's a little bit low. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Taylor Wirtz, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some patchy areas of fog this morning, that'll be lifting way to a mix of sun and clouds for today and a warm afternoon for your St. Patrick's Day. 87 for a forecast high. We could see a stray shower by this afternoon focused far inland. Otherwise, we remain quiet for your Thursday evening, Thursday night, Friday morning, looking at lows in the middle 60s waking up with the high near 89 degrees for the afternoon. A few showers focus inland yet again for your Friday afternoon. Saturday mainly dry, and we keep it warm for the start of the weekend with a high near 88 degrees. I'm Wake News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Got friends and family living far away? Tell them to stream the best station yet at rightallalong.net, the online home of 92.5 Fox News.
You already know that Genesis produces some of the most luxurious cars and SUVs in the world. But did you know that Genesis of Naples is the world's #1 largest volume Genesis dealer? Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples, and we're #1 because we make sure you have a luxurious buying experience. Yes, my staff and I are honored to help our customers get into a new Genesis with our large volume of incoming inventory, like Motor Trend's 2022 SUV of the Year, the all-new GV70, or the hot midsize GV80. Plus the G70, G80, G90 luxury sedans. Come see why the Genesis G80 ranked #1 in initial quality among upper midsize premium cars by J.D. Power. As the world's largest dealer, we receive the largest share incoming models. So let us help you reserve yours. We're taking pre-orders now, so come in and select your dream Genesis. Visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road today.
Based on 2021 retail sales volume GMA. For J.D. Power 2021 U.S. award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and you know and I know that finding a doctor is one of the most important decisions that you can make in your life for you and your family. And you want to find somebody that's going to promote patient interaction and advocacy above all else. That's why I love Dr. Svetlana Kogan. She's my doctor, and I'm just telling you, it's that personal interaction, that one-on-one, the time that she spends, the huge amount of time going into detail. It's like nothing I've ever seen. And it's that connection that means so much to me. She's got a calming demeanor that'll help you if you've got anxiety about maybe issues that are going on in your life, but you need somebody in your life that you can trust, a physician that will listen. And here's the best part. She'll meet with you face to face anytime you need her, no matter where you are. You've got direct contact and complete access to Dr. Kogan. And that's why I love Dr. Svetlana Kogan. Find out more about her practice on 5th Avenue South by going to customlongevity.com. That's customlongevity.com.
Yikes! $100? Paying that much is just a pain in the gas. Get to the gas payoff event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Through Monday, buy a new Nissan and we'll pay for your fuel. Not just a tank, not just for a month, but for an entire year. Your gas bill is on us. Plus, trade in your gas guzzler to a fuel-efficient new Nissan or a certified pre-owned Nissan. Sutherland Nissan has tons of models that get over 30 miles per gallon. As the #1 certified pre-owned dealer, you'll find the vehicle you're looking for and pay thousands less. And through Monday only, buy a new Nissan and pay $0 for gas for the next year. Save when you buy, save on the road, and save on gas. Don't miss the gas payoff event through Monday only at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much. See dealer for details.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Termites are silent destroyers. They can tunnel through homes for years without a peep. Unless you've invited Truly Nolan to chase down and eliminate the problem. Truly Nolan's above and below ground treatments have been keeping homes termite-free for more than 80 years. Matter of fact, we believe our total termite protection plan is the most effective plan of its kind in the country. When Truly Nolan has termites in their sights, there's no escape. Schedule your free inspection and get $100 off termite control by going to trulynolan.com or call 800-GO-TRULY.
At Rock Solid Countertops and More, $9.99 gets it done.
Does that include full installation?
For a limited time only, get a full set of kitchen countertops from $9.99 installed.
And get a free sink plus Rock Solid's 100% price guarantee?
Rock Solid guarantees to beat any competitor's prices, including installation.
So if I want the best deal in Southwest Florida for countertops,
come see Hugo and his team in Naples. And now in Port Charlotte, 4135 Tamiami Trail, where $9.99 gets it done.
Chevy Sales, Marty speaking.
Oh, top of the morning to you, Marty.
You again?
Do you feel lucky?
Lucky?
Yeah, it's the Lucky You event at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Right now, Victory Lane's offering no payments for 120 days.
What the?
And new Chevy trucks come with a $1,000 accessory allowance.
No way!
But you don't really need luck with their goal of 100% credit approval.
No such thing as luck, pal.
Well, don't tell that to your customers, because they're going to need all the luck they can get. He hung up. During the Lucky You event, get 2.99 APR for 72 months and no payments for 120 days. New Chevy trucks have a $1,000 accessory allowance, plus an additional $500 off MSRP. Get lucky at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com. Se habla español. Plus tax, tag, and fees with approved credit. All offers on in-stock vehicles must finance through GM Financial. Offers cannot combine. Ends 3/31/22.
Thank you for waking us all up out here.
For all you do. And thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
So glad to see you there. 239-479-5592. That is the Brett Air Conditioning Talk and Text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com. You can go to the website and watch us right now. And listen, it's a basic website, nothing fancy. As a matter of fact, it's really easy to watch us from the website. It works like an app. So if you just go there on your browser, on your phone, or whatever you're doing, and subscribing to our Rumble channel. All right, let's skim some of the headlines, because there are some fun headlines out there today. And when I say fun, I don't mean they're really fun. It's crazy. All right, let's get to some of... okay, let's start with this breaking news. Here you go, Jake. Ready?
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
Hey, remember it was a long time ago? Not too long ago. I think you were still around, Jake. I think you were alive long enough to remember when everybody was talking about the allegations against the governor, about COVID-19 data being suppressed. Remember, everybody was talking about that, and Nikki Fried was saying, we need the information. You're suppressing the COVID information. And UF did this whole investigation, and guess what they found, everybody? Oh, would you look at this? Yeah, there's no merit to the allegations that the COVID-19 data was suppressed. Oh, really? Oh, okay. That's good. Hey, here's a pro tip for all of the media outlets, local, state, and national, that we have out there. Pro tip: don't lie, and we'll trust you more. Don't make up stuff and run with it, and then do investigations and say, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. University of Florida investigation into allegations at the state. Pressured staff to destroy or hinder access to the Florida Department of Health information. Yeah, there's no merit to it. Okay, but you can move on. So there's that. That's out there. What other fun, interesting stories do we have? Oh man, we got a lot. Let's see. How about this one? Did you know that Ford's going to begin shipping some of its trucks? There's like Ford Explorers that are just sitting. Did you ever see those videos? There's like thousands of trucks that are sitting because they don't have the proper chip to get everything. So they're like, listen, we're going to start shipping those trucks because too many people need trucks. Too many want the vehicles. They need them. So we're going to send the trucks with the chips not there. They're going to be missing. Now, you may be saying, hey, they're not like important things like the brakes or steering, are they? No, it's nothing like that. So I guess they power the rear air conditioning and heating controls. So if you get a brand new Ford truck, one of these Explorers, and you really want your passenger to be incredibly uncomfortable Have them sit in the back. I guess is what it, for the time being. I'm sure once the chips come in, they'll call you and say, hey, we got the chip. And we'll get that fixed. Look, it happens. Supply chain issues. What are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you what you can do. If you ask Pete Buttigieg, wish I had that audio. Don't I have that? Oh, man, I don't have it. I can't believe it. At a moment in time, let's see. I want to find it. All right, before, let's reset. There you go. All right, I'm going to reset this. Look, Pete Buttigieg has the answers.
Buttigieg.
Okay.
Buttigieg.
I love that audio. All right. So what's the solution to high gas prices? He was asked, Pete Buttigieg was asked by Yahoo.
Buttigieg.
All right.
Buttigieg.
All right, so listen to this.
You mentioned gas prices briefly, and they continue to soar across this country. Can the public transportation system, as it's situated today, can it handle a potential influx of people that just can't afford to drive to work anymore? Talk to us about some of the investments you have started to make in infrastructure here from the public transport side.
Yeah, well, wait. The Transportation Secretary Buttigieg being asked, well, can the public transportation system handle all of this? And Pete has the answer to this, because I got to be honest, I would much rather drive. That's what I would rather be doing is driving my own vehicle or having fuel prices go down. And that would be a good thing to do, would be to lower fuel prices. And I don't really want to take public transportation. So what does Pete Buttigieg say?
Well, we do have a lot of capacity in public transit, and that's something that I hope becomes a means of choice alongside driving, that people have good options and good affordable options to get to where they need to be. Look, we need to make sure that there is less pressure on family budgets from transportation, which is often the second biggest budget item after housing itself.
It's funny because we want to take the pressure off of that the expense of high gas prices. It's like there's nothing else to do. So the only thing we could do is put people into public transport. That's what Pete Buttigieg says. So we just
Buttigieg.
All right.
Buttigieg.
All right. Maybe Congressman Byron Donalds would like to talk about this or other things that are going on. He's joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. That was Pete Buttigieg letting Yahoo News know that, hey, listen, one of the solutions to high gas prices is public transportation. We're just going to stick everybody on a bus. That's all we're going to do.
Yeah. First of all, that's impossible. Look, I grew up in New York City. We have the most robust mass transit system in the world. And the thing always runs out of money because of the union contracts associated with the people who actually, drive the buses and conduct the trains. It always loses money. And here's the other thing. All the people in the city of New York do not ride on mass transit.
Yep.
A good percentage do, but not all of them. If they all had to do it, there would not be enough capacity to handle all the people.
Yeah.
So once again, Pete Buttigieg is proving he doesn't know what he's talking about. But I mean, what else is new? The guy was a mayor of South Bend, and from what I hear, he wasn't a very good mayor. But now he's running the transportation agency in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. And by the way, if you've seen the subway recently in New York City, I'm not really sure if people necessarily want to be on the subways right now with some of the policies that are there. I talked to a couple of people, and again, we bring this up because it's the left-leaning liberal policies in New York City that have destroyed a city that came back. And I was there, you were there. We know what it was like when it was awful, and we also know what it was like when it was really, really good. And we're back to awful again. And I talked to Larry Kudlow just the other day and talked about this very thing, about how New York City is right now. I mean, somebody who lives there, and it's like it's not the same. And it's the policies of the mayor and what they've done in that state that we certainly don't want here. But the answers that they have, they don't want to accept and use that will make the city better. What they do is try to find what are these workarounds. And clearly, Congressman, the workarounds are because there's a constituency that they are beholden to that wants these policies, like these climate change radicals, that they're willing to go along with at the detriment of the American people. It's clear.
You're 100% correct. Look, two things. One, Pete Buttigieg, Jen Psaki does it. They all do this thing now, and it really pisses me off, where they explain the problem in a highly intellectual manner. And then at the very end say, so what we need to do is find solutions to help the American people. Well, all they really did is take 2 minutes to say absolutely nothing. Everybody knows what the problem is. The question is, what are you going to do? They don't offer solutions except the previous solution they already offered, which doesn't work. And so their party, a lot of it is based upon climate change as a major pillar of their political power base. It's what they run on all the time. So now having to abandon one of the key pillars of why you even run for office and seek higher office and try to maintain power in Washington or in state capitals across the country, the Democrats reversing course here is literally abandoning one of their major pillars. It's climate change and it's quote unquote immigration reform and mass amnesty. And then, of course, then you have social spending. Like, those are the three pillars of their party.
Yeah.
And so if they completely got rid of climate change because, one, green technology cannot replace fossil fuels in any economy, let alone ours. Number two, green technology is significantly more expensive if it doesn't have federal subsidies attached to it. And even still with the federal subsidies, it's still more expensive than natural gas or oil or, yes, dare I say, coal, and yes, nuclear power. But number three, and more importantly, geopolitics has dictated one thing to us right now, is that Russia, China, they are focused on commodities and minerals. The United States and Europe is focused on, we just want to maintain economies based upon unsound money principles. And we don't want to have to do the hard work necessary to preserve the American economy and the American way of life, which is, yes, using fossil fuels, which is, yes, peace through strength, and which is, yes, sound money, which means you just can't give everything to everybody. People have to earn it and work for it.
Yeah. You bring up an important point, and before we move on to some other topics, I want to stick with just one thing that you said, and it's just the two of us talking. It's me and you. We're just having a conversation. Yeah. Nobody else. What you said is so important to me, and I can't tell you how many people I hear saying this, which is, don't just tell us that we have to get away from fossil fuels, Jennifer Granholm, and we can't miss these opportunities and everything that's happening, that's going on, the crisis we can't let go to waste, if you will. We need people to follow up the questions with, tell us how. Give us the answer. Like, if you're telling us we're going to get off of fossil fuels, how are we going to power the vehicles? With what? What do you plan on doing? And we need more people to do that, right? And I know, Congressman, you do it, but we need more people to do the same thing, which is, don't just give us this blanket answer of, we got to get away from fossil fuels. Well, no. Expand on that, please. Give us the answer, because if you're telling us that there are means out there that are not using fossil fuels to power electric vehicles, enlighten us. Tell us what we're going to use. And if the technology exists, what does it cost? Nobody's saying that kind of thing. Nobody's following up the questions when Nancy Pelosi does these dances that you can't even understand half the time, whether it's Ukraine or anything else. Nobody ever follows up with her and kind of pushes back and says, well, I need a little more. Does that make sense?
No, it makes total sense. Even that's how congressional committees actually work. Congressional committees are not designed for the members to push back on each other's narratives. Yeah. Congressional committees are designed for every member to get 5 minutes so they can give a speech and then maybe ask a question that the witnesses don't have time to answer. And so there's really no back and forth. There's no dialogue. There's no debate between the members. We're doing that right now. The Democrats are trying to push for the expanded child tax credit to become permanent. We have a massive inflation problem. The Federal Reserve, by the way, did not raise interest rates high enough. It's only going to make the problem worse, not better.
Yeah, it's already baked in too. I mean, all the rates.
Baked in. Yeah. The street knew. We know they're going to do a quarter. Let's see if they get real. Right. And so when they didn't do it, when they didn't get real, the street was like, oh, okay, they're not serious. Yep. So in the look of all this, we're in committees and they're talking about, we need to make the child tax credit permanent. And you have to, I look at them sometimes, like the two Democrats actually come to committee. I look at them, I'm like, are you guys even serious? These policies are what has created the biggest inflation we've seen in 40 years. but you want to do more of the same, as opposed to saying, you know what, we did this, it's not working. Let's actually rethink our strategy here. There is no rethinking going on from the Democrats in Washington, D.C. That's why when they're trying to ban Russian oil, instead of them reversing course in the United States with regulation, you got Joe Biden going to the Venezuelans and going to the Iranians to find other avenues to get oil, despite the fact that both of those regimes are totalitarian, murderous regimes. Yep. So the Democrats don't care about, oh, this is a good country, that's a bad country. This is a country that supports liberty. This is a country that doesn't. Only thing they care about is keeping their agenda afloat and trying to shove all the mess under the rug so the American people don't see it.
Yeah. Two things. Want to get your thoughts on Zelensky and the speech from yesterday. And then the other thing is this. Is there anybody in D.C.? I'm bringing this up. I've been talking about it a lot. I had Lee Smith on recently to talk about it as well and get into details. Anybody in D.C. talking about how if you're going to talk tough about sanctions against Russia, like the president's doing, and at the same time using Russia to make a deal with Iran on a nuclear deal that is clearly going to give Iran the weapon, which is clearly going to make Iran a client of Russia's to take care of nuclear sites, get weapons and the like. They're not coming to us. They're going to give tens of billions of dollars to Russia. And this administration is doing everything they can to help them. So the talk of sanctions rings hollow to me when we know that they're still doing. Is anybody in D.C. even talking about that?
Well, first of all, let me deal with the sanctions first, and I'll end with Zelensky.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who are actually talking about this on the Hill. You even have some Democrats talking about it because what the Russian invasion into Ukraine has exposed is some of the ridiculous foreign policy entanglements that Joe Biden has put us in, which, namely, Russia being our negotiating point with the Iranians. The Saudis see this. The Saudis don't like it. That's why they don't return Joe Biden's phone call when he's calling for more oil.
Right.
And that's also why the Saudis are going to the Chinese. So listen, on Capitol Hill, you have Republicans, we're definitely talking about it. You even have Democrats who are starting to talk about it because they understand, even very quietly and tepidly, but they understand how this puts us further into a box on a foreign policy perspective. It's just idiotic policy. This is diplomacy for diplomacy's sake from the Biden administration, but it's not going to get us anywhere. It's actually going to put us on a worse footing with our allies. Mm-hmm. These kind of moves from Biden is actually what has perpetrated the Russian invasion into Ukraine. Now, to be clear, I am not saying that Joe Biden basically opened the door for Vladimir Putin to invade Ukraine. Vladimir Putin's done that on his own regard. But Vladimir Putin has done that because he realizes and understands that Joe Biden is feckless and he is weak on the world stage, and there won't be pushback against Russian aggression. And so, of course, the saying that everybody knows now from the Russians is you push where there's mush, and there is mush at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. So when Vladimir Zelensky comes in and he talks to Congress, the members of Congress, Nancy Pelosi had the Ukraine American flag pins being handed out. The Democrats now are all Ukraine all the time, primarily because they failed everywhere else domestically. So they have to be supportive of something that the American people are supportive of. But also secondarily, they are realizing the true idiocy of Biden's foreign policy, and they're trying to find an off-ramp before the midterm elections. What Zelensky came in and did yesterday was he fed into that narrative. I think he did a tremendous job with his speech. Obviously, he asked for a no-fly zone, and he also asked for military weaponry. And I think the real effects are most members of Congress are actually in favor of providing the armaments, including MiG-29s and the like, to Ukraine, except for, honestly, you have people on the very fringe side of our conference, and then members on the very fringe side of the Democrat conference who just don't want to engage in the theater at all.
Right. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see. We hope for peace. We hope for some kind of deal to happen. Something at all. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what could possibly happen ultimately. But boy, I will say this. If there is going to ultimately be some kind of deal that they can make where this would stop and Putin would turn around and everything would go back, then politically speaking, man, you take that off the table for Democrats. Just speaking about politics now, you take that off the table for Democrats. Where do they go? They can't go to the economy. Can't go to what's going on with fuel prices. Now what?
Well, and I mean, that's the key thing. They have nowhere to go, Drew.
Yeah.
And, for people who are like, well, the Democrats, they've talked so much against endless wars and so on and so forth. Why are they now so pro-Ukraine and being involved?
Yeah.
Is because they have nowhere to go politically. They have failed across the board. And this is the one thing that the vast majority of the American people are supportive of, with being supportive of Ukraine standing against this Russian invasion.
Yeah.
And so it's an easy place politically to land and kind of hang out for a while, hoping that the dust settles on the economy. But the reality is the dust is not settling on this economy. It is getting worse. Yep. We could be hitting stagflation. Don't listen to me. Even Larry Summers said that yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Congressman Byron Donalds is joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I appreciate you. All right, have a good day. We'll see you soon, okay?
Hey, take it easy, Drew.
All right, see ya. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. You can check us out there. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
The right place for local talk. Drew now. Trey for the drive at 5. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
For a limited time, Unique will buy back your old, inefficient HVAC system when we take up to $1,750 off your new heating and cooling system purchase. And Unique will save you even more money by giving you a free Nest thermostat. Maximize your energy savings with the new energy-efficient HVAC system and Nest thermostat from Unique Services today. Call 941-500-9819 to schedule your appointment. License number CMC 1250555, CFC 1429592, EC 1300-2942.
You need Unique. Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
As a small business owner, your bottom line is always top of mind. So start saving by switching to Comcast Business Mobile. It's a mobile service designed for small business that can save you money with unlimited data for just $24 per line per month for 10 lines. Perfect for any small business looking to grow. Or you can pay by the gig. And with access to millions of Wi-Fi hotspots, you'll pay only for the data you need, with no line fees, activation costs, or term contracts. You can save up to $500 a year on your wireless bill, all on the most reliable 5G network. And it's only available to Comcast Business Internet customers. So boost your business's bottom line with a more reliable, more affordable mobile service by switching to Comcast Business Mobile today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability assessment wins in 2H 2021. Wi-Fi networks not tested. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no closing costs, period. The Fed is set to raise rates, and some analysts are saying it could be as many as 11 consecutive rate increases. A rise in the Fed rate can increase the rate and monthly payment on credit card debt and home equity credit lines. If you're a homeowner with significant credit card payments, home equity credit line payments, or if you are thinking about cash out for other things like home improvements, we can help. A no closing cost conventional fixed rate first mortgage can lock all of these things in right now and actually help lower your monthly payments. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or we're local. Call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Tee off for a great day of golf at Coral Oaks Golf Course in Cape Coral. Enjoy excellent playing conditions, GPS golf carts, a large driving range and practice area, plus Knickers Pub. Also sign up for one of Coral Oaks' comprehensive golf schools with sessions running through April. You're sure to improve your game. Book tee times up to 7 days in advance at coraloaksgolf.com. We'll see you at Coral Oaks, where every day is a great day.
At the NCH Heart Institute in Naples, Florida, we are transforming cardiac care. Offering the most subspecialties in Southwest Florida, the NCH Heart Institute was named one of America's 100 best hospitals for cardiac care for the 7th year in a row by Healthgrades. We are elevating the patient experience. We are becoming the premier destination for cardiac care. The NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
Hey guys, it's Robbie Raw. As an RN and health and fitness expert, I know that self-care from head to toe is so important for a healthy, fit lifestyle. One of my secrets for staying active, fit, and pain-free are my amazing art supports from the Good Feet store. It's not just about what shoes you wear, it's what's in them and how your body aligns from your feet on up. I'm telling you, these were a game changer for me. I am as active as ever, and I feel like myself again. If you have foot pain, knee, hip, or back pain, the first thing you should do is visit the Good Feet store for a free personalized fitting and test walk. I'm not going to stop living my best life anytime soon, nor should you. To be the best version of you, you need to take care of yourself, and the Good Feet store can make that happen. And by the way, when you feel great, you look great, and that's the raw truth. Learn more and find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com.
The news you need, the host you trust, getting it right all day and all night. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
Traffic on Palm Beach headed just over 75. Seeing a few slowdowns, avoid that area. I-75 mostly congested past Colonial Boulevard southbound in that area, and then Alligator Alley, hearing reports of a crash on I-75 as you head towards Naples just past Camluck Road. That right lane is blocked, and we see troopers on scene, so you're going to get a little bit slowed down if you're headed past that scene. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Taylor Wirtz, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some patchy areas of fog this morning, that'll be lifting way to a mix of sun and clouds for today and a warm afternoon for your St. Patrick's Day. 87 for a forecast high. We could see a stray shower by this afternoon focused far inland. Otherwise, we remain quiet for your Thursday evening, Thursday night, Friday morning, looking at lows in the middle 60s waking up with the high near 89 degrees for the afternoon. A few showers focus inland yet again for your Friday afternoon. Saturday mainly dry, and we keep it warm for the start of the weekend with a high near 88 degrees. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
When listening to the radio in your car, remember to always drive on the right side of the road. Keep it here on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomato Sports Page. These are stressful times. There's turmoil all around us, from our personal concerns about health, family, and finances to our feelings about those who trash this great country, its traditions, its protectors, and its flag. I want to scream and make my voice heard, but instead I'm part of the silent majority, those who are dependable, caring, fair-minded, fiercely patriotic, and who every day help to make America great. Stevie honors the silent majority every day by serving our award-winning food and beverages. Relieve today's stress during our happy hour with a great meal. Choose fall-at-the-bone ribs or the best burgers in town, great pizza and more. Most of all, sit down, relax, eat, and drink with others of the silent majority. Stevie honors this great country, its traditions, and the sacrifices made by all those before us and today. Our servicemen, our policemen, our firemen, and doctors, nurses, homemakers, and all others of the silent majority. God bless you, and God bless America. Stevie Tomatoes, Naples, Fort Myers, and Cape Coral.
Hey, Dave, got your AC on?
Yeah, why?
Blowing hot over here.
Don't tell me.
Already told you.
But I fixed this myself last week.
You can fix air conditioning?
I have tools. I know things.
I know it's too hot in here.
Oh, my wife is gonna lose it.
Dave.
She thinks I'm handy. When she learns the truth,
Dave.
she'll wonder why she married me in the first place. Only a matter of time until she leaves me for someone with a bigger toolbox.
Dave, so what's the best case scenario?
Best case? Well, I make one call, someone comes and gets the AC running cold. My family thinks I did it myself.
That's best?
Well, sure, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have so many specialized technicians, they even have a tried-to-fix-the-AC-yourself expert.
Really?
Nobody needs to know how handy you really are.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
Cool air. Now that's more like it.
Our little secret?
Our little secret.
Well, hello there. I am the Guitar Hotel. I have over 3,000 of the newest slot machines and nearly 200 table games with real cards and real dealers. Come experience my incredible lineup of restaurants, bars, and of course, Hard Rock Live. Or spend a day soaking up the sun in my 18 acres of poolside paradise. I can't wait to meet you. Visit hardrockholly.com to find out more.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
As a great poet once wrote, choosing one path over another makes all the difference. Now consider that each space reimagined by Closet Factory brims with features, each of which reflect a choice made to make things more efficient. The result? A room built of dozens of good choices that, by design, don't just keep things in your home more organized, but in living with it makes you more organized. Designed and engineered for a better you. That's how we build it at Closet Factory and ClosetFactory.com.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Liberals suck. That's why we have Clay and Buck. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. Today, noon to 3 on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Should I play that as one of the top 5 audio clips today? You think they're prepared for this?
No one's prepared for that.
Should I play it though?
I don't think he says anything too...
No. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything like... He doesn't cuss because he's in front of a city council meeting.
So that's a real council meeting?
Oh, no, that's real. So do you want me to... All right, so I won't play it as one of the top 5 audio clips, but I'll play it afterwards because because it's going to take too long to set up. So is that
not really you? Just play it, not say anything.
You think I should just play it? I'm afraid to just play it. Oh man! All right, go top 5 audio clips of the day. 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5 at 8:35. Number 5.
We talk about electrification, obviously. It's not just about transportation. It's about homes and making sure that we wean ourselves off of fossil fuels.
How are we going to do that? Energy Secretary Granholm saying, listen, it's we can't let the crisis go to waste. We got to get off of fossil fuels. We got to electrify our EVs and everything else off of fossil fuels. How do we do that? No, tell us exactly. It's what I was talking to Congressman Byron Donalds about just a second ago. We need more people to step up and go, no. Hold on, full stop. How do we do that? Stop talking about how we get off of fossil fuels and electrify our electric vehicles that we're going to have by 2030. We don't have a choice. Nobody's going to be making any combustible engines. How do we do that exactly? Not using fossil fuels. Tell us the answer. They don't. Because they don't have it.
Number 4.
Yeah, just picking up on the inflation, Mr. Secretary, we talked to a lot of business leaders here, a lot of CEOs, and they are now, I just noticed a shift in their tone where they're thinking inflation is no longer transitory. That's dead in the water. That was the last year thing. It's becoming permanent. Do you think it's permanent?
I don't think anything is permanent, but
okay. He doesn't think anything. It's not permanent. We're not going to have permanent inflation. Something's going to end up happening. We'll fix it. We'll get. That's Pete Buttigieg, who.
Buttigieg.
Okay.
Buttigieg.
It's Pete Buttigieg, Transportation Secretary. Nothing's permanent. It's okay. Just take public transport. Everybody get on a bus. You don't need. And listen, ask Jennifer Granholm about the electrifying electric vehicles without fossil fuels. You might want to do that.
Number 3. I would simply point out to the gentleman that the National School Board Association apologized for that letter within days of its issuance, and
that's sort of proven my point, I think. That's how wrong it was.
Well, they made a mistake and they apologized for it. Nobody's taken any action on the basis of it.
The person who hasn't taken action is the Attorney General of the United States has not rescinded the memo and the action that he put in place. That's what's warranted. That's why we need him back here to answer the questions, things he said in that committee hearing that turned out not to be accurate, and we need him to rescind the memo and stop what's ever gone into place. And the last thing we need to do is to pass this bill, which is going to codify the whole plot and plan and scheme they initiated last fall.
Be thankful for Representative Jim Jordan, because while other things are in the headlines, behind the scenes, there are people that are fighting for you. That's Jim Jordan, who slammed Representative Jerry Nadler of his handling of an investigation into the National School Boards Association, where a lot of people want to kind of get away from them, but not everybody. Remember the letter asking the Biden administration to investigate parents as domestic terrorists? Well, guess what? Jerry Nadler was like, oh, no, they apologized for that. They're not even backing that up anymore. They were wrong when they said that. So there's nothing here we're talking about. And Jim Jordan's like, well, no, you don't understand. Democrats right now are trying to pass a bill which is going to codify into law that you are a domestic terrorist if you show up at a school board meeting and complain about what is happening at that board meeting, because the DOJ is not rescinding, is not backing off of their demands and what they have said about you as a domestic terrorist. Doesn't matter what the National School Board Association says. So it's good that Jim Jordan's out there pushing back on this.
Number 2.
I don't have any audio there. All right, hold on a second. I can't skip it. I can't skip it, so I have to. Yeah, you want me to play the other thing that I can't play it. All right, hold on a second. Let's try the number 2 thing here, and then we'll get back to that. All right, here you go. Make believe none of this just took place.
Number 2.
People who came over our border without permission are not being punished. They are instead being rewarded. And so you
they're not. Let me answer to that.
Very
no,
different
that's
standard
not
to
true.
Ukraine. I'm wondering if Russians fleeing Putin, do you believe should be allowed to start new and better lives in Ukraine? And I bet you'd say no, because you believe in Ukrainian nationalism, but not American.
I want to be rigorous. I'm talking about those people who have lived here for more than 5 years, that have not committed a crime, that have American children, and who are contributing to our economy. I want to give them something called dignity.
That is Representative Salazar, a rhino from the East Coast in the Miami-Dade area, talking to Tucker Carlson last night, and I would encourage you to watch this, who has the Dignity Act that she has been pushing, where she is saying, listen, 13 million illegals in the country, or how many people, doesn't make a difference. We've got to find a way to make them legal. Amnesty. Oh, but we've got the most secure border. We're getting a plan in existence ever created, and Republicans are going to do this, and we need to sign this. Yeah, well, there's some issues there that we're going to discuss in just a second.
Number 1.
So we established a new civil rights cause of action for those whose intimate images were shared on the public screen. How many times have you heard, I'll bet everybody knows somebody somewhere along the line, that in an intimate relationship, what happened was the guy takes a revealing picture of his naked friend or whatever in a compromising position, and then literally, in a sense, blackmails or mortifies that person.
What? There's the president of the United States saying, look, everybody knows somebody somewhere along the line in an intimate relation, and the guy takes a revealing picture of his naked friend or whatever in a compromising position, and then they literally send this blackmail. He said this at a signing yesterday, at a signing ceremony for the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act. What?
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
All right, well, yeah. So that was just kind of a weird moment. A lot of weird moments for this president. Maybe one.
True international effort to pressure.
I don't know, maybe two.
Vatican.
All right, don't stop it. I get the idea. There's I know what you're saying. There's a lot.
I got hairy legs.
All right, I understand. That was just really strange how that came up. Anyway, let's move on because I don't even want to talk about the president. All right, you want me to play this audio? All right, a couple of things. Number one, before we went to break, I saw this. I played this for Jake. I was questioning. All right, there's a guy that's out there who he shows up at all these city council meetings in Texas. They know who he is, and he raps. He brings a little, one of those little USB boom boxes thing, like the JBL booms or whatever those things are called. You know what I'm talking about? USB speakers. And he raps. And he says the most insane things in front of these city council meetings. They know who he is. They know he's coming. And they give him 2 minutes to do it. And I could only play a portion of it because I didn't hear the whole thing. I don't think he cusses, but they don't kick him out. They don't say anything. He's insane. Have you heard any of this?
I'm a Zelensky stan. I love you, Vladimir Zelensky. You are so smart. What's the smell? Did somebody fart? No way. What can you say? Vaccinate me straight or gay. I love you, and I love to rhyme and grind all the time.
Okay. He does this in front of the city council meeting. For 2 minutes, he raps. They let him do it.
For dinner, okay. You want to go to? I just want to say, I love you. We need to take out Vladimir Putin, like Lindsey Graham said. Thank you, Mayor Mullins. I appreciate the time. Peace. God.
So he does this whole rap, he does this crazy thing, and then at the end of it, he's like, "Hey, thanks for giving me the time, everybody. Mayor, appreciate it. All right, see you later." That was at the Plano City Council, and they let him do it. It's just. It's crazy. I don't know. Did you watch the whole thing? He's like, I don't know if I could play all of it. You think I should?
It's risky, but I mean, if you want.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. No. It is kind of, some of the, it's talk crazy. But anyway, leaving that out. So we saw that. Guys are nuts. I'm amazed how everybody knows this guy. Somebody said in the news when they're like, "Hey, it's freedom of speech. The guy wants to speak." Yeah, I guess it's a little disruptive, but they know he's coming. It's like, oh, here's Bob. All right, with the boom box. Let him go. It's harmless. 2 minutes. All right. So there's that. The Tucker Carlson thing yesterday, and I brought this up earlier, and it's real simple. So. Representative Salazar is a Republican in name only, Rhino. She's had some questionable votes in the past in Congress. And she's the one who somebody videoed of her saying, "Oh, we need to have a no-fly zone." And then when they asked what a no-fly zone is, she didn't know what it was. So she goes on to Tucker Carlson's program, and they're talking about Ukraine. And, he brings up some interesting points about the no-fly zone and all that. But they also bring up the border. And this is where it gets deep and important. So they're screaming and yelling. They're going back. They're not screaming and yelling, but they kind of are. A little bit of a back and forth. I just want you to listen to this.
Explain to you about open borders because you said that I was in favor of open borders and I talked to your production.
Well, you just called last month for the amnesty for tens of millions of people who came into this country illegally. But you did, because I read the legislation today.
No, I did not.
Actually, about 20 minutes ago I read it.
Okay, I'm glad you did. And I will invite you to read it again because just give me 30 seconds and I promise I'll give it to you in sound bites. The Dignity Act, which I presented last month, is an immigration reform law, probably the first one that the GOP has presented in a long time. Right. It has one of the strongest border security measures in the history of the United States Congress.
Right, got it. But it also provides amnesty for tens of millions of people.
Amnesty is what we have now, Tucker. Amnesty is when you have more than 13 million illegals, listen to me, without paying for schools, for roads, or for hospitals. I am giving them dignity so they can start paying, and they can.
Now we're getting pretty deep into the talking points here. What you're doing is people who came here.
All right, it was pretty remarkable, and I would encourage you to go and check it out if you didn't see it from last night. And here's why it's so incredible. And it's real simple. And I brought this up earlier, and the invitation still stands. You know, I wouldn't be angry. I would just love to have the conversation about this and other things with Senator Marco Rubio, who back in 2015 I had this same debate with. And if Rubio's people are listening right now, and I believe that you are, I would love to have him on. Just because I have this question that I still want to present because it's important to me. And I did. And look, he was gracious and we had this discussion and it's cool. But I really need an answer here. What she's presenting is the same thing that was presented back in 2015 before the election. And that, listen, it's about dignity and we can do both. We can have what she calls, Representative Salazar, the strongest border protections ever known to mankind. I mean, we're talking about anything and everything you could possibly imagine along the border. And in turn, listen, there are millions of people that are here, yes, illegally, but we're going to have to do something and to make them legal and give them the dignity of being able to pay taxes for roads and bridges and their hospital care and everything else, that this is important, that the dignity issue is what Tucker was saying. It's kind of like a talking point. But here's what I said 6 years ago or 7 years ago that I'm going to say today. And it's like we're doing this again. We don't have honest brokers in Washington, D.C. And in some cases, they're in the Republican Party. And it's this. You're going to pass something that you're going to call the toughest border protections known to mankind. We had pretty good border protections when President Trump was in office. And in turn, you're going to also say amnesty. So we're going to have a little bit of both. I mean, nobody likes the word amnesty. She calls it dignity. You can call it whatever you want. But you know what's going to happen. It's the same thing that happened to Ronald Reagan in 86. It's the same thing that happened the last time that this was discussed. It's the same issue. And it's this. You don't have honest brokers. The amnesty will happen. The border protection will not. It's not happening now. You have a party that is going to do anything and everything that they can to see to it that what you want to happen, even if it's codified into law, will not happen because they'll find ways around it, executive orders or anything else. They're still going to keep the borders open. They have no interest in blocking it down. And if you're telling people that all you need to do is have the proper law written, that both sides will get what they want and believe that Democrats, the left in this country, are going to agree with you, that's crazy. They won't. They're not going to. And how you don't see this is remarkable unless you know it and you just want to have one side and, you know, you're kind of cool with some border protection, but it's really about the amnesty thing. That's what I think. And it's the same discussion we had before. And it's so simple. It's so simple. Zero, nada, zilch discussion about amnesty until the border is completely secure. Full stop. Till it's done. Till a border wall is done, until border protection can do their job. And the fact of the matter is that we're not getting things done along the border now. And the other part is, go Jake. And the other part is that we have people that don't want to do it. And that's a real problem, especially considering where all the headlines are out there and we still have a border issue now. We can't do both. Can't. But we can do one. That has to be done for our sovereignty. And when we're so concerned about the sovereignty of Ukraine and their border and protecting theirs, I sure wish we could take $1 billion out of the $14 billion sent there, or a couple of million out of the $1 million that were sent there, the $800 million for weapons, and give it to our border and have it secure, because I care about our sovereignty too. I know I'm not allowed to say that. I just did. All right, it's Daybreak 92. And that doesn't diminish, please. That doesn't diminish what is going on in Ukraine, and it doesn't diminish the problems that are there. So don't even do it. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5. Fox News, right all along.
Office or driving to the beach, always stay to the right with 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele talking about my friends at Amco of Bonita Springs, 992-2626. It's 992-2626. Whatever is going on with your vehicle, they will fix it and fix it right. They are a great conservative business. And I can tell you they have a great local reputation for doing good work. And they also have an awesome customer base. It's been established over the past